because I'm taking that one out of that deck. I've been meaning to do it, and I'm going to play them tomorrow. So let's not have an $800 card and a casual Magic deck when there's a $2 replacement that does literally the same thing.
I've actually started taking the valuable cards out of my decks and proxying them. Because if I get mugged, I don't want to lose, 20 grand.
Yeah, that sounds easy enough.
That'd be good, if I could control the criminal elements of the city.
Well, I mean, I've only been mugged once, and the time I was mugged, I was in downtown LA scoring crack and heroin. So that made perfect sense. That made perfect sense that I get mugged because I was in downtown LA scoring crack and heroin. But other than that, I've never been mugged, no matter what I was carrying on me.
There were 2 people that were convicted of murder over streaming.
Over Magic cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're streaming right now. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why you want to kill somebody. Is over Magic.
And the thing $20,000.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't move them. Like you can't oh yeah, I stole some Magic cards and now I'm gonna sell them and no one's gonna know that. Like that's fucking such bullshit. Like, yeah.
No, you can sell them really easily. Like they're online buy lists that don't care. Like you could come over, rob me, and then go to any number of a dozen different sites. They won't ask where the cards came from.
And then you all heard it. That was complicit admission.
Yeah. That was actually was an invitation. That was an actual invitation for us, for those of us. But the thing is, and you're saying that you can't track
they can't be tracked.
Yeah,
they can track. They keep records. So like if I sent to Star City, they would have records, and if somebody really looked hard enough, they could find those records. But you could.
Oh, you know what? You're right though. You're right though. The cops don't look that hard, so you'd be all set. Yeah, you're right. So I could totally, because cops usually give up when they run across the first roadblock. They're like, all right, I'm done. Yeah. No shit. No, it's just too much work. Yeah, I'm done. Fuck it.
Like I could sell to Star City. I could sell to Car Kingdom. I could sell to different people and use like different logins, different aliases, because it's all just online accounts.
You're just an online account.
Aren't we all?
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Your mom's an online account.
Hey, there we are.
All right. So when last we left off, you guys were actually now, which I also had that I had created the sort of the lair that these fellows had taken you to. But apparently it didn't save in Roll20, or apparently I didn't do it correctly. I don't know, but so that was the delay because I was putting everything else up.
Where to put the phone? Oh, we're live. I should.
So last time.
So yeah. So you guys had actually. What do you? Oh Jesus Christ! Hold on real quick. Let me sort this out. My camera's freaking out. All right, so you guys had you had basically, if you recall, you had sort of like gone through what seemed to be some sort of like giant worm's lair, and then into some chamber kind of off this giant worm's lair that allowed you guys to and basically this seemed to be where these creatures, these sort of like very pale elves, had sort of built their camp.
Yep. There were like green stars or something in there, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
glowing worms.
Yeah. There's they're like these like glow. Yeah, they're basically like these like strange like they look. Remember, it looked like a constellation, and it was all of these like little tiny glowing worms that were.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like in Pitch Black when they go in the cave.
Yeah, and then you guys walked in. You entered into the sort of into the main chamber. Like, and it looked like there was like a constellation of stars, but it actually turns out there were these little worms.
Yeah, and then Dom gets in his charger and challenges him to a street race.
What?
Yep, exactly.
Pitch Black is a
Fast and
Diesel
Furious.
movie.
I just because you make something up doesn't mean that I'm going to believe it. There's no such thing as a Vin Diesel.
My truck runs on Vin Diesel.
yeah. I'm sorry.
You should get it looked at because there's the Vin Diesel gate with all the Volkswagens.
Hey, Crafty Kaiju, how you doing, man? All right. So let's pick up kind of where we left off. So you guys, so let me kind of recreate what happened. So you basically followed what seemed to be, these guys seem to be some type of elf. Again, they're a strange kind of elf because they definitely seem to be pale. They definitely don't speak any elven language that you guys have encountered before. The language that they do speak is very musical. It's kind of fluting. It's like a little bit whistling, a little bit like fluting. It's a strange, and again, and even their gestures, their body posture, the ways that they move seems a little bit alien, you know. But you manage to follow them. They basically beckon you guys sort of to follow them. You follow them into these tunnels. So you were when last the image that we actually see on the screen right now, the Roll20 image, was actually some ruins, underground ruins along a river that was in a canyon. You guys basically left those ruins. You went to the canyon, or you went to the wall of basically you were in a gigantic underground chamber. You went to one of the walls of that chamber, and there was a large tunnel that was cylindrical and very smooth. It definitely seemed to be fashioned, but it was fashioned and obviously now that you guys have encountered the worms, it's pretty obvious that these are worm-made tunnels. So you guys basically trekked for a little while down these worm-made tunnels, and you eventually found what seemed to be these worms' lair. And these worms were gigantic. I mean, they look like they're 15, 20 feet in diameter, and they look like they might be like the larger of them. It might be 100 yards long. They're pretty enormous. And they look like they were sort of like there was just a gigantic coil of them. Like it looked like they were like. You can't tell. You couldn't even tell how many there might be, but it just looked like there was a mass of them. 5, 6, 10, 20, 30. You can't really tell because they're like laying on top of each other and slithering on top of each other. They're these just massive things. And it's just this big, like this room that you entered was like this like giant bowl of these worms. Surrounding these gigantic worms, there were as you entered this room, it looked like there was a constellation around you. It looked like it was stars. But as your eyes adjusted and as you were looking at the walls near you, you realized, no, they're actually these little tiny glowworms. And these little glowworms basically were covering the entire walls. And as you guys were walking, these worms were kind of congregating around you as if they were following your body, your smell, or your body heat or something. They were kind of tracking, like they enmasked. They they kind of like masked kind of alongside you guys and kind of tracked your movements as you were making your way into this this basin of worms. You you're following these strange kind of like white elves, and then they suddenly disappear. And what looks like you guys are again, you don't have very exceptional vision here. You're in the dark. But you can still make out something because of these like little glowworms, and you notice that the elves ahead of you just kind of disappear for a second, and it turns out that they've actually just jagged off to the right hand side and have taken another little and now it looks like it's actually a natural made crevice that leads to like some natural made cavern cat caves, and you guys basically enter inside there. You run across what seems to be like some braziers filled with that sort of like the green mist, the phosphorescent mist that these elves sort of use for their own illumination, and then you enter into what seems to be their actual campground. And so that's where we left off.
Yep.
Last time on.
What is this? Jeff Dark Redeemer throws in a thing. Oh yeah. That's the glowworms. That's exactly. Yeah. There's just thousands of those. There's thousands of these guys. Hold on. Yeah, there's.
I
Yeah,
remember
oh,
those
yeah.
things.
Yeah, that's. It's not. There's thousands of these guys. on the walls. Yeah, that's a lie. All right. So. Yeah. So again. So now. So these other six, these strange sort of elves, like they. So they actually start to, like, they basically disrobe, not completely, but they kind of remove their armor and their outer clothing and stuff like that. One of them actually moves to what looks to be like some sort of like strange kind of pit type of thing, and ends up doing something. Pulls off what looks to be like a lid. You guys actually notice it looks like there might actually be like lava. It looks like it's actually like a naturally occurring like little pit with what seems to be like actual like. And then once this lid comes off, then you guys get a little bit more illumination actually from what looks to be like lava. It looks to be like yeah.
That is a rather dangerous light source.
And it also seems that they use this thing, that they use this, like, whatever this is for like it definitely looks like there's like cooking implements surrounding it.
Well, I guess whatever works down here.
So we've reached their lair, I guess.
I mean, it definitely seems. I mean,
or their campsite.
Yeah. Whether this is the place that they live full time, or whether it is just a thing that they whether this is a temporary location for them. You can't really tell, but it definitely does seem like it's been lived in for some time. Like they definitely seem to have spread out and made use of the entirety of this little cavern, this little cave.
Right. And so this is the point where, and we still haven't rested.
In the center of the room.
Yeah, and you guys have not rested. And so, yeah, and they're and so.
But they seem to be settling down. So.
They do, yeah. And the thing is that, like, and again, remember there were all sorts of like, there were all sorts of meats and stuff that seemed to be prepared. Yeah. They do have a giant bowl of worms set up for you guys. Yeah, they just actually hand you some chopsticks, and then they just point outside. They're like just letting you know that that you guys can help yourself to whatever's out there.
I grab one off the wall and I curl up and go to sleep. Holding it.
Yeah. Oh, my little glowworm.
It could be poisonous.
Yeah.
Be careful.
So no, again, so the thing is like, so they definitely seem like, so, and again, there were, like I said, there were against one wall, there definitely seems to be meats that are drying. It definitely seems like that they've made this a little space where they've been able to take care of a lot of their things. So it definitely looks like they've got like a little forge. It definitely also looks like, whatever the little pot thing in the center of the room, whatever they pulled off of, like, it looked like there was it looked like it was actually like a naturally occurring fissure that they just put some sort of lid on top of. But you also notice that there definitely seems to be other fissures like that with, like, it looks like they've taken like these like natural occurring fissures and turned them into workstations.
This is an impressive setup.
Yeah, it sounds pretty impressive.
No, you're not impressed though. You look at it and you're like, yeah. You're like, yeah. Oh, again, another use of just natural lava. Yeah. Oh God.
Are there any signs of writing or anything like that?
Not that. I mean, nothing.
That we would be welcome or anything.
What's that? Oh yeah, no, yeah. So they definitely like kind of like jet, like, so the one that kind of went to the center area, like that person kind of starts what seems to be assembling some sort of like apparatus that goes over the actual. It looks like this person's setting up to do some sort of cooking. The leader fellow, the person that you guys have sort of identified, it seems to be the one the others defer to. walks up to. Sorry. So let's figure out. So you guys, I'm figuring you guys are all. I'm figuring that you guys are kind of doing your normal marching order. So I'm figuring that it's Airloser in front, and you guys kind of in some sequence behind him. So that the leader guy
correct.
walks up to Airloser, and he says some sort of like. Again, in that
I'm like, yes, that's correct. I am the leader.
in that fluting language, he says, "You're a racist bastard, aren't you? I want to eat your bowels." No.
And I say, racism is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
As long as they're not a race other than mine.
And I love to race. I'm a big
I'm definitely a big race fan.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good race? He like definitely comes up to you and kind of gestures at the area, and is kind of like it seems like he's trying to. I mean, it definitely seems like he's telling you specifics about stuff. You can't tell what he's talking about, but it definitely seems like he's giving you actual specifics, But Airloser just looks at him like, "Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Who's this fucking?"
I just start doing this in front of him.
Yeah.
Because I was like trying to. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say, is he gesturing at anything, or is he pointing at stuff, and trying to give me specifics, or he's just talking at me directly?
It definitely seems like he's talking about the different spots, and like it definitely seems like he's trying to like give you a little bit of an explanation of kind of what everything is, without you having any clue like what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then at some point in time, he just kind of gestures to all of you, like he just kind of does this like and welcome to Fantasy Island,
Fantasy Islands.
Is there an area that looks to be for what's the word I'm looking for
camp it out,
reclining? Yeah, for like reclining,
yeah,
or
it's
where you would go to sleep, maybe.
It definitely seems like each of them has kind of chosen their own area and kind of made it their own, and there definitely are sort of not empty spots per se, like pretty much like I said, like they've kind of filled out this entire cavern, but there's definitely room enough for you guys to like lay down bedrolls and stuff like that and kind of get yourself situated, but it's all kind of haphazard. It's kind of like each of them some time ago carved out a little space for themselves, and then have since kind of like overlapped, so there's definitely like plenty of space for you guys to lay out bedrolls, but there's no way you could all be situated all in the same area.
Okay.
So, because I'm right behind Airloser. Because I kind of was talking with the other guy a little bit. Do I understand a little bit more of what he's saying?
I mean, yeah. So actually, that fellow or female, whomever, like again, you're not.
Yeah,
no. So actually, no. Because they actually pull off like a lot of like they were wearing sort of like loose fitting, like these strange kind of jackets, but a lot more flowy kind of thing, and so they take those off, and then you see that they're all wearing what seems to be like some sort of like chitin armor, chitinous kind of type armor, and the thing is, and they pull that off, and then you're actually again, it looks like the person you were speaking to is probably a female, but the thing is again, they're so slight.
Right.
It's tough to fully tell,
Oh, yeah.
Let's get some stuff on them. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, and so for lack of a better word, so she walks up to you and kind of like motions you and she motions to you, William Cuddy, and she's like, and she starts talking kind of as if she's giving a more in-depth explanation of kind of what everything is,
Gotcha.
But again, you don't understand what she's saying.
I was gonna say, I guess we can just camp out our own spots.
Yeah.
I would recommend we stay together, but there's no
Oh well, yeah.
area where we can stay together.
I mean, you guys could all of you cram into an area. You know, the thing is I mean, because there are like
They'll
you know, it's
probably
like,
they'll probably shift away once it seems.
or we could split up into two like smaller groups and cram into two areas that are nearer to each other than any of the other areas. That way, we're at least close.
Hey, I think this one that I was talking to has the hots for me, so I'm gonna try to go
to motorboat
go-
her.
He's
go
gonna
motorboat her.
You're gonna-
we
you're
haven't
gonna-
had a good motorboating in a long time.
Yeah, I know. You're
gonna-
gonna follow a page from Odd. You're like, this one's for Odd. You know, yeah. I'm
Yep.
gonna grab some water. Give me a second, guys.
you're gonna Captain Kirk it up.
That's right. Well, and if she tries anything on me, then I'm gonna, Shatner the shit out of her.
Take me to your leader.
Leader. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what questions I have now to try to
Well,
glean from them.
once we rest, we'll be able to understand them.
Yeah, but that seems like such a cop out. I don't want to. I kind of want to play it out, but I don't know how to play it out.
Well, and we only
Play what out?
from a meta perspective, we only have a couple more sessions left too.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
it's
want
the
it
end-
to,
the
I don't
end
want
of
it
the
to
season.
take forever either. But
Yeah, I mean, this season's gonna end on a cliffhanger. I'm just letting you know. You know, so that yeah. But
okay.
yeah. You know.
Sounds good.
Or William Cuddy gets pregnant.
Yeah. yeah.
What? That is
So
certainly a development.
So we're settling down. I'm
Do we want to break into two smaller groups? Or do we want to stay in one larger group in one area?
we could probably break into a couple of smaller groups. It's fine.
Yeah.
I usually actually do sleep quite a bit of ways from Airloser because he snores like like terribly.
I do.
Also, you don't want to just strangle him in his sleep.
And it's more a fear of being strangled, but yeah.
I am more heightened in my racism in my sleep.
Yeah. You sleep. You have a tendency to sleep choke.
Yeah, I sleep
You
prejudge.
Yeah. You what's it called? Fuck. What the fuck is the word called? Jesus.
Sleep apnea?
No. Why am I?
Sleepwalk?
Oh, you sleep lynch. You have a tendency to sleep lynch.
Oh.
Somnambulia.
Somnambulism.
Yeah.
That's like
somnambulism.
sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Somnambulism.
You have a tendency to,
Racism.
string up little halflings.
Lynching. Some lynching.
So yes. So you guys. So all right. So who's situated with whom?
Well, it's hilarious because let's put Erloser and
Faye.
no, not Faye, the other guy. Matt? What's your character's name?
Sigfroy.
Sigfroy. Jesus.
Come on now. It's not like we've been doing this for almost a year or whatever.
I thought they just said that they're not going to be. They won't be.
Yeah. So you
Well,
make.
Matt said he doesn't want to sleep next to me.
Oh yeah.
Sigfrid said he doesn't want to sleep next to me.
So I'm gonna find
Yeah, so we
Antha
could be-
and
Pindo.
Pendo still here?
Yeah. There's yeah.
Apparently, Pendo doesn't like me, so he wouldn't be near me. He'd probably be with Sigfrid.
Oh wait, no. Hold on. Oh yeah, so Antha and Pindo did. Remember they because Antha.
Yeah, they came
Antha-
with us.
Antha
Yeah,
didn't.
she wanted to leave.
Yeah, she wanted to get out. She didn't trust these guys at all. But she did ultimately agree to join you guys. So yeah, they're actually setting up camp outside, like just outside the braziers and sort of marking the entrance to the to this little chamber.
I don't like that. Um,
Well, you
Well-
don't like anything.
well, as far as Anth's concerned, I don't give a shit. But Pendo, I don't have anything against, and I
You
don't.
sure he's a
I don't
halfling?
let him. Well, I mean, he's one of the good ones.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
No, like I don't. He hasn't shown any aggression towards me, or I mean, what he said to Sigfroy last time, I wasn't supposed to hear. You told that to
yeah,
Sigfroy,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Kokali or whatever. Kokali's the civilized one.
Kodaki.
Kodaki,
Yeah, the
Kodaki.
Kokali are the savages.
Savages. The Kodaki. So I wouldn't have understood it. So I don't know that he doesn't have anything against me, but I don't have anything against him. And
Sure.
a member of the party leaving is not something that I would want, especially if it's somebody that I have respect for.
Yeah.
So I don't like the fact that they're setting up outside, knowing that Antha wanted to leave and take Pendo with her.
Yeah, you're planning on killing her, weren't you?
No, I wasn't planning on killing her. I was gonna physically stop her.
No.
Just because I draw a weapon doesn't mean I'm gonna kill somebody. I mean, I could hit them with the hilt, or use it as a cudgel or something. I was drawing the weapon to stop her from leaving.
What were you trying to accomplish? Because if you had stopped
I mean,
her, were you going
just,
to like?
You
were
could
you
have
going
just
to
taken
like
off her
imprison
toes
her?
or something.
Or like?
No, I wanted to stop her from taking Pendo.
Well, Pendo could leave on. Like, she wasn't like kidnapping him.
I don't know.
I mean, and Pendo definitely seemed like he was gonna join her for some reason.
no.
You know.
Antha had like some of the stones and stuff.
Well, right, she had the supplies that she was carrying.
Yeah, which I think, and the supplies, and I didn't want her to take our supplies.
Well, they're her supplies. She's the one
Our
carrying.
supplies for the group. And when she's part of the group, she can carry those supplies and keep them, but they're for the group.
So if I decided to strike off on my own,
Comrade
you would
Comrade
strip me of-
Airloser says yeah.
So Commissar Airloser, if I were to decide to strike off on my own, you'd strip me of all my food and
Well, it depends on,
any
why you're
stones?
striking off on. If you're leaving the group, then yeah, you don't.
You would basically be condemning me to death.
But I'm saving the group. Greater good.
I don't know if the group needs to be saved if that's the route we're going to take, taking people's food and leaving them to die.
All right, never mind. We're not going to get into this argument.
Philosophical debates are wonderful, are they not?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to strike off on your own to help the group that accomplish some other mission, like we're splitting the group then yeah, sure, you're not at counter purposes to us. But if you're striking off and taking stuff from the group for your own selfish purposes, then I have a problem.
What if it's for an unselfish purpose? Would that
a porpoise?
Yeah.
Well,
So
porpoises are assholes. Look it up.
But if this was an
They are
unselfish,
the assholes of the sea.
but if this was an unselfish one, All right. So
I mean, it depends on what kind of porpoise.
Is it a porpoise with a purpose?
all right. So you guys. Do you say anything to Antha and Pendo as they're setting up?
No, just let them set up.
I don't like it. It bothers me.
Okay. So
I don't know if I'm going to say anything, but well, nobody else cares, so I don't want to start an argument when nobody else in the group seems to give a shit. So I guess I'll just let it happen. But it doesn't. I don't like it.
Okay. And does that dislike of it exhibit itself in any way?
Yeah,
He's glaring. Yeah, he's glaring over there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
I look at Faye and I'm like, and Faye's like, whatever, I don't care, because apparently Faye doesn't care.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not going to force my will upon other people or take their shit and leave them to die. I think you're getting care and compassion confused.
So I'm figuring that all of this that just happened there was actually occurring just in glances, right? It was just you guys looking at each other having.
Oh no, we probably had the philosophical debate as we were setting up camp, and William Cuddy was over there hitting on the pale elf, and I don't know what Sigfried was doing.
Well, question, is it an India Pale Elf? So it's an IPA? Or I guess it's an IPE.
Yeah.
I run over and I stab Sigfried for making that joke.
If Sigfried's a real hobbit, then he'd probably be over there checking out the food and seeing what they're cooking.
He's a hopsit.
Is it time for second lunch?
It's
breakfast?
or what is it? 11sies.
11sies.
Second breakfast.
So and what is Sigfried doing?
Probably just kind of scouting out a place to sleep. I've heard Erloser bicker about his moral quandaries multiple times, and I'm kind of tired of it over the years. So probably just
ignoring him. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Actually, I have something. So while I've kind of set my stuff down in a corner, I'm gonna kind of move over to Sigfroy, and in Koiki, is that what the
Kodaki?
Kodaki. I'm gonna basically be like, friend Sigfried. Perhaps you can talk to Pindo and find out what's going on. It seems very odd that he would be willing to leave with Antha. Perhaps you can get some information from him.
He made it pretty apparent last time that he wasn't about that. He was not going to be speaking of that.
Well, maybe you could try and gain his trust. I mean, he doesn't really know you.
How would you go about trying to gain someone's trust of that nature?
I mean, set up camp near them.
It sucks. It sucks. You know what would really help?
You gotta talk to him.
It would help if you guys had like a really charismatic member of the party that could actually like be convincing and be like sell him on the idea that perhaps he might want to open up. He did just lose his brother. Like you would think that. It sucks. It sucks that you guys don't really have somebody like that. That's like it's got a silver tongue and is able to
I explained that I do know Pindo better, but I feel that maybe because you're both Kodaki, and he might be willing to open up to you.
Sure. That's a very good point. And so I start looking to set up shop specifically by the other group, or by Pindo and the other one whose name I'm forgetting.
Okay, Antha. So you actually you're kind of you found a place. You start getting set up, and then Faye walks over and talks to you. And you're like, that's not actually a bad idea. And so you pick up your stuff and you move towards the. Okay. So sorry. So again, so they're kind of on the perimeter of they're outside of the actual cavern, and where they're setting up, like the thing is the light. Again, you have a little bit of light from these kind of like braziers filled with that kind of
the lava,
phosphorescent mist.
Oh, the worms.
Yeah. But the thing is like, but again, it's you're dealing with a little bit more darker, and the thing is like, and Pindo, so and Pindo has just basically kind of laid down what looks to be like a he's got like a leather mat of some sort, and then just like a what seems to be like a small wool blanket. And he sort of like unrolled those things, and then he's kind of tending to his weapons. He's like sharpening and cleaning them and kind of like, you know.
Right.
So yeah, and when you walk up, he looks up at you and he kind of grunts and he said it sounds like he gives you a kind of like loose Kodaki greeting, you know, like kind of like the Kodaki version of what's up, you know, as you kind of like walk, approach.
Howdy.
Very smooth.
What's this? He asked you in Kodaki. What's the meaning of howdy?
It's a greeting. I'm trying it out. It's something new. What do you think?
I don't what it's a greeting for me for one of the Kodaki, or is it a greeting for a human? What is it saying?
It is a greeting to a friend.
Howdy. So we are friends.
Do you not consider us friends?
We are Kodaki, that I know. We are of the same tribe. We are of the same people. There is no need for friends. We are Kodaki.
Okay, my question.
Yeah.
Like.
So it's sort of like being part of the same Indian tribe. You know, the thing is it like you guys like it's sort of like it's like
it
you're
doesn't
all
matter if
you're all kind of
not.
you're all kind of extended family. So even if you don't like each other, the thing is you're still gonna help each other out.
You're
It's just
still-
it's
still
Kodaki. You know, it's like yeah.
Okay.
So the Kodaki like he won't turn his back on you. He'll be there. Like I think is it like like so that was like the fact that those other your Kodaki scouts disappeared. Like that's pretty. Like the thing is they did not do that of their own devices, you know.
Right.
It's the Kodaki code.
The Kodaki code, yeah. The code of the Kodaki code.
Yeah, but even then, like they would still have people they prefer more than others.
Oh yeah. Of course. No, yeah. There certainly is. I mean, there certainly is still friends. But the thing is so that's what he's saying. So he's saying that he's saying we're not friends, but we're Kodaki. So, we're Kodaki. You know.
Right. Yes, but no. Give me a second. I is there not a reason why we could not be friends?
Well, you are friends.
He's like, bro, come on. You're coming out a bit too strong.
Yeah. No. He's like he says he actually responds. Perhaps we could, but now is not the time for friend making. Now is the time for getting out and surviving. This is we are deep below the earth. And we are surrounded by enemies, and our friends. I do not know how reliable our friends are, and we have this one. And he does a quick nod at Antha, without calling her. He's like, yeah, we have this one, and she is trouble. Your big man. He seems to be trouble. They seem to not like each other. This is not a very safe place to be. Right now, it is for surviving. Friends will come later.
Fair enough. I am quite curious as to why you would still go with her instead of Kodaki.
Because she knows things. She knows things about my brother that she knows who killed my brother, and I want to find this out.
Okay.
I want to make them pay. You as Kodaki should understand. Yes.
His name is Pendo Montoya.
Yeah.
You killed
my brother.
Yeah.
Prepare to die. I indeed I do. I actually I lost my entire tribe when I was but a young one, and there's nothing I would do, there's nothing I would not give to have them back.
Yeah, and you use and again you like because the tribe itself is the Kodaki, but you use something you're like yeah, I lost my, like there's a word for a Kodaki for that cell, for
Right,
your
like
little,
immediate family or something, as opposed to extended tribal family.
Yeah. And so he says, yeah, so he looks at you. He actually gives you an appraising look and goes, you are more human than you are. You are Kodaki, yes. I see that. But there is you grew up amongst the humans, yes?
Yes.
I see that. It's the way you carry yourself.
Is it a bad thing?
No, it is. You are still Kodaki. It is curious. It is curious how when you lost your people, were you rescued by humans?
I genuinely forget my part of this backstory.
Yeah. So the thing is that, like, remember you were sort of kidnapped.
Right. I remember that. It was I was kidnapped by people who I didn't understand or even really know who they were.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember how I got out of that situation.
Didn't you have to hide in a tree or something like that?
Well, that was
before that. That was before that. Yeah.
In the cave.
So it had something to do with the haunting that, like, and that again, it wasn't
right.
It wasn't fully elucidated. So. But the thing is yeah, it definitely had something to do with the haunting that allowed you to escape, and then
it didn't take. Like I thought it wasn't even that I escaped. It's just
they were trying to graft something to you that didn't work.
Right, and so now, I didn't really so much escape as just be let go.
Yeah, so that thing that it's still attached to you, but it's not in control of you. And whatever it was that they were trying to graft to you, and and the thing is and so they just remember, I think they just dumped you out. They're like this one's no use to us,
So yes, I grew up with them. I was not raised by them, but I did grow up with them.
When did this happen?
I tell him. I don't quite remember.
Yeah, and I mean, you were probably like 12 or 13 when they finally just kind of dumped you on the streets, Well, you're Kodaki. What can I do? What do you need?
I need you to stop being such a dick.
I'm trying to think of like what I would say that wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, if you put yourself just in Sigfroy's shoes, right? So the thing is, I mean, I think that because you grew up outside of the Kodaki for as long as you did, it definitely seemed to me like you spent a lot of time trying to reconnect, because you're pretty friendly with a lot of the Kodaki in the city, right? So the thing is, it definitely seems to me that you've kind of spent some time kind of connecting with the city, the Saint Marn based Kodaki, right? So the thing is, like, so you're not unfamiliar with the Kodaki sayings, you're not unfamiliar with the Kodaki rituals and the Kodaki like culture. And so the thing is, and you probably know and have known of Pindo and Dado for a long time, and you probably have mutual friends. The thing is, like, because it's not a huge community that the Kodaki that live in Saint Marn, and they definitely are from that group of people.
Right. I'm just trying. Well, it's. He says, "What do you need from me?" And I'm just trying to think of what I say here that doesn't I don't know. I guess I would just respond with, for now, just your trust and me, and by proxy, my companions.
You, I can trust. Your friends, we'll see. There is much danger in many of them. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with your companions for now. You know, I don't intend, but there's also danger. I see that there's volatility.
Fair enough.
Just a little volatility. Make it interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. So it definitely. I mean, so the thing is, so he definitely told you kind of why he's with Antha, why he's following with
Right.
Antha. You know, but the
Yeah,
thing
and
is,
that's what I was looking for.
and it definitely seems like she's the one you want, like you guys want to actually grill, right? Because the thing is, like, because Pindo wants information out of her that she's not willing to give, right? And so that's why he's sticking by her, so he can get that information out of her.
Yeah, well, she probably figures that it's her only leverage.
Yep.
Yep.
And so I bet you Airlosser could probably torture it out of her.
Oh yeah.
There is a lava pit.
Yeah, there is a lot of it.
Isn't there also just like a jar of lava?
No, I mean it's weird. So okay, again, so that's the other thing, and what this is and how it works. You guys don't know 100%. But the thing is it literally looks like it's like a guy. It looks like it is a pool of water, right? It looks like they've actually got like a naturally occurring like pool of water, but rather than water, it's lava. But the thing is it's not like it's hot. It seems like it's molten, but it's not doing anything. Like it's not surmounting. Yeah, it's not surmounting the edges of this little. It seems like it's well behaved. How that works, no one knows. But it definitely seems like they've either done, it's either tame lava, which is ridiculous, or they've done something to contain it.
Very odd.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like just upon like some like you haven't gone up and actively inspected it, but even at this distance you can feel the heat, and it definitely looks like it's molten rock.
If I cast detect magic, can I tell if there's any magic involved in it, like keeping it?
Do you cast detect magic?
Yeah, I'll cast detect magic.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So when you do that, all right, so when you yes, all right. So yes, there is some magic. There is some magic, but the thing is at the moment you cast detect magic, the leader guy, he actually like he seems a little startled, and he gets up and starts whistling like he starts like he's talking to you, like he seems sort of excited, and he's talking to you sort of pretty quickly, but in that weird like kind of fluting language, and says something, and then points at the little bowl of molten lava, and kind of like points around, and it's like saying he definitely seems like he's excited, but what he's saying you can't tell.
Well, yeah, I will.
And this is the first time. This is the first time you've used magic in front of them, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh no, you guys definitely had light. You guys definitely had light spells, but yeah, even so, okay. Yeah,
they weren't really paying attention.
Yeah,
to that.
I mean,
because we were kind of hiding it from them as well, because they. We kind of got the impression that like they didn't really.
And there was no actual casting in front of them. So again, they it's like it's probably they probably knew it was fairly obvious that it was magic, but here's somebody here, like now you've been identified as one of the guys casting the magic. So
yeah, one of the things I can do is I've got I can start kind of showing them a bit, because I can cast Mage Hand and like pick up a small stone or
Sure.
whatnot.
Sure. And don't you have Unseen Servant?
I do, but if we haven't rested yet, I haven't gotten any of my spells back.
Oh yeah. Okay.
As Faye's doing that, I pick up 3 small stones and start juggling in front of them too, and I like stand on a ball and like do the ball backwards while I'm like.
Okay. Go
Let's
ahead.
do tricks. Let's do tricks for them.
No.
Sleight of hand.
No. This is an odd moment. Go ahead and make a roll. Go ahead and make a dex roll.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
joking.
Let's cut.
All right, I'll make a dex
reflex.
roll.
Make a reflex. Make a reflex save.
I'll make a reflex save.
Yeah.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta have my character sheet up. 1 second.
If you fail, you knock yourself out.
Oh my
Or
God.
fall in the lava.
Yeah, and fall in the yeah. You knock yourself out, and your face lands in the lava. No. All right. So how are you reacting to this guy kind of going nuts?
Oh well, I'm going to see if I can.
I got a 13. Sorry, you cut out for a minute. That's probably my internet. I got a 13.
I'm going to see if I can maybe try and communicate with him in sort of like by magical means, or like see if he's a spellcaster, because there's a lot of like hand gestures that
Yeah, I mean,
might be common.
And you did see him. He was the one that conjured up the
green
mist. Yeah.
Mist, yeah.
So when you cast Mage Hand, like he looks at you and he's kind of surprised, and he actually he says something, and then he actually does, and he uses some sort of like somatic, like he uses some sort of gesture that's totally alien to like
right.
But the thing is that like but it also conjures up like so he actually also moves the stone again. There seems to be that green mist kind of like envelops his hand and also envelops the stone as the stone rises. So
Okay, it's like some of the.
It definitely seems like the mist stuff is kind of built into the kind of magic that this guy practices.
Oh, right.
As the Stone Rises is the name of my memoirs.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And the name of your metal band, which is straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can kind of although I can't necessarily cast any first level spells until I rest. I can perform the gestures.
Sure.
And kind of speak the magic words. And I'm gonna basically kind of sit with them for a while. And I guess while everyone's still settling down, because I imagine there's food cooking or. Everyone's setting camp, so eventually, people are going to go to sleep. I'll basically sit and I'll try and kind of like use magic as a means of talking with them.
Sure. Because he watches your gestures. He kind of listens like, but because he's not seeing any sort of magical effect, he's like you do something like that, and he'd look around like what's it doing, So he definitely seems like he's a little bit kind of like what exactly are you doing?
Skeptical.
It'd be like kind of pantomime sleeping and tired and be like I'll attempt to cast the spell, and he might be able to sense the lack of magic or the weak sort of emanation.
Yeah, and so you guys, so we'll say like maybe 20, 30 minutes, like you guys are kind of at this, and you do get a sense of some kind of understanding. It definitely seems like the magic that he's using is very different in every form to the kind of magic that you're using. But you guys do kind of come to some type of understanding. Some, again, it's mostly the idea that both of you use similar kinds of things in the actual casting of the spells. The effects you're not able to really communicate.
Right.
But the thing is but just the fact that you've reached that sort of understanding, he seems pretty excited about.
Well, yeah, that's for leveling up, I did take a point in linguistics. So
Cool.
This will kind of be my means of trying
Starting
to
that
understand
off,
the language. Yeah.
Yeah, amen.
And I know, I think William Cuddy took did you give him Craig level in linguistics? So he's probably hanging out with his
Well, we
his
still
scalpel.
haven't.
Yeah.
We
his-
still
his
haven't
current-
fully rested though.
Right. I think everyone's settling down. This is just kind of determining what everyone's doing. Like
I think
Right.
I think we all took linguistics.
I didn't take linguistics.
I did not. I did
just-
not take linguistics.
I didn't take linguistics. I just took.
I did-
He's gonna magically know what they say.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do like to eat linguine though. That's delicious.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty much what I guess that's what all I'm going to be doing before we go to sleep. I'm guessing William Cuddy's speaking with his friend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so in fact, so that we'll say that like over the course of the maybe about 30-minute conversation, you and he kind of reach some sort of like some tacit understanding of that you both use magic, you both kind of acknowledge how strange it is that the things that you do are so different from each other. Like you're at least able to kind of like piece that together. William Cuddy. So the person. So this she definitely seems like she's a female, as far as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely got. She's very slight. She's got like very high cheekbones. The like pale kind of like purple eyes.
No way, no, that's a turn off.
That also kind of have like they kind of glow a bit, or at least that's what they look like in the light like the light that you've got that you can see her by, and she kind of like motions for you to like it definitely seems like she's trying to like explain something. You're not, and it definitely seems like it's pretty urgent for her to like kind of like convey whatever she's trying to convey, but again you're not, it's all the thing is like there's no gestures, there's no expressions that she's using that conveys any real meaning other than a sense of urgency.
Okay, so then I'll I mean, it doesn't do me any good to try to say things, right? So, I think I might just like start trying to point randomly at stuff around, and see if, I try to gesture and say, I don't know what you're saying,
So like you point at the ground, and then you point at the ceiling,
point at the ground,
and then you look,
and
then you point at like something on a like rock, and then you say, I don't know what you're saying, and then you just keep doing that.
Yeah, just kind of I don't know, and the funny thing is like this gesture in their language could mean, oh yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, but I have no idea,
So why don't you instead just make no gestures? Why don't you just look at like clear your face of all emotion, and then make no gestures, and then just say no. Just keep saying no. No.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll put my hands behind my back.
No means no.
No means no.
So no, but okay. So the thing is, so again, all right. So you do that.
That is a good strategy.
You do that, and she definitely looks more confused. Hey, mushroom smuggler, how you doing, man? So she definitely seems more confused.
Yeah. So basically, I clasp my hands behind my back, and I don't.
Oh, we're losing
do
you.
the no and oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were just kind of cutting out for a second.
Just cut out a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would I actually do? Because I'll tell you, like, this actually happened to me in real life, like a few weeks ago. Like, somebody was trying to talk to me. It was at my girlfriend's graduation, and it was like an Asian lady, and she was trying to ask me something, and I had no idea what she was saying, and I kept like repeating, like, I felt like a fool actually.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't. And
Well, welcome to that.
I feel kind of like that. You know,
Welcome
it's
to that
like,
feeling right now. Yeah,
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
no,
It's
but
deja vu.
okay. So I mean, the thing is, so it's okay. So after, so you guys have like a confusing, like, let's say like 7 or 8 minutes, and then she like turns and she puts her hands on your chest, and then she goes, "Ruth," like she says, like she does some, you know,
Oh,
some weird kind of
She
whistling.
goes,
Yeah. But again,
there it is.
you know, it does some kind of whistling thing, you know.
All right. Well, I'll try to imitate the gesture, and try to imitate the noise too, and see what happens.
Okay, no, yeah, so you do that. So yeah, you go and she takes her hands. She go to put your hands on her chest, and she pushes them away. She pushes you away, and then she touches you again and does the same thing. Like says it's a weird kind of fluting, whistling word, you know.
Mm-hmm. And so if I tried to do the same thing back, then I assume that she would push my hand away again, right?
Yeah. And she does it, but she does it like she's like, obviously, you silly numbskull, you have to get it. Like this is the most simple thing. So she puts her hands on you and she says that.
Well, then so I would try to put my hand on her hand and make the same noise.
Yeah. So you tried that. She puts it. So she takes your hands and she puts them back. She puts them on your chest, and then she says the same thing.
I don't. So what do I do now?
So yeah, so then she turns and she kind of like walks over to one of her friends, one of the other, and she puts her hands on that person's chest and says a different kind of like fluting thing. And then she walks back over to you and puts her hands on your chest and then says the same fluting thing that she said to start with.
I wonder. So it sounds like she's trying to tell me that that's a name, maybe. Like that's their name.
that's either your name or that's your race
or something. Yeah. So I turn and I look at Erlos. I'm not going to I'm not going to like go up and put my hand on Erlos's chest because I think he would stomp me out. But I point at him and I make the same. I try to imitate the same noise.
Okay, yeah, and so yeah, and she and the person that she just walked up to, they both start doing that weird kind of like musical kind of thing that suggests that they're laughing. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you just said that you and Erlos are married.
Our couple. Yeah, belong together. But it definitely does seem to be something like that. They're like, that's so cute, that's so silly, you know. Or it could have been the way that you made the sound. Like the thing is like
doesn't understand.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, so I would put. Well, so when I put my hand on my chest and imitated the sound.
Did you do that? I don't think you did that yet.
Did I?
No.
I thought I did. I put my. Okay. Well, I'll put my hand on my chest.
You said you put your hands on her hands. On your chest.
That's what I thought.
And made the sound. But you didn't put your hands on your chest. You
Just
put your hands on her hands that were on your chest.
Yeah.
Okay. So yep, that's what I said. So this time I'll just try like putting my hand on my chest and making the noise.
Okay. Oh yeah. So
see what happens.
So yeah, you do that and she and again she definitely responds. She smiles and responds. But again, she with another kind of like whistling kind of fluting thing that you're like okay, is that what is it? It definitely doesn't sound bad, but it's and the other fellow that she was using as the counterpoint to you does the same thing. He's like he has like a little like whistling fluting thing. But again,
I think you just said that you make love to yourself.
Yeah. But again, it doesn't smack of like what you know as an affirmative. But again, these people are very strange. You know, maybe it is an affirmative. Maybe
true.
Yeah, maybe she was like, that's fucking amazing, great, way to well done, and you can't tell because
I don't know. Maybe we should rest so I can understand what's going on.
Yeah. So, you're like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to bed.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like we've made a breakthrough on something, I guess, but without understanding what the breakthrough is, I don't really know. Like,
Sure.
I mean, they haven't become hostile towards me, so that's good.
As far as you can tell.
It seems like there's some type of rapport made, possibly, from my standpoint. So, I think, so is the whole, has everybody else's discussions kind of completed? Because I think what I will do is like, I think what I'll do is I'll point to where my bedroll and stuff is, or where I'm going to set it up, and then just kind of, make like a sleeping noise and snoring kind of noise and see what happens.
Okay, yeah. So you do that, and they look alarmed, and they're like what, and then they repeat this kind of snoring sound that you made, and they're like what, it definitely seems like they're pretty alarmed now.
What would be interesting is if they don't sleep, so they don't know what snoring is. Like what if we have interpreted them getting ready for bed? But
I was gonna ask what their areas looked like. Did they have bedrolls themselves? Was there anything that looked like we could recognize it as similar behavior towards us?
There definitely is. Each of them does seem to have what looks to be like a circle of furs. It doesn't look like it's exceptionally comfortable. It doesn't look like a bed, but it definitely looks like a place where they retire. It definitely looks like
a roost, or not necessarily a roost as in like a bird roost, but like a roost as in some place to rest.
Yeah, it definitely seems
general...
like there's six of them, and there's 6 of these circles, and those circles definitely seem to be surrounded by personal items.
Well, I was gonna say, while Sigfroy's talking to Pendo and Faye's talking to Flute Boy,
their leader,
and
the leader.
Well, wait. Well, was that the leader?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the leader, and
we're guessing he is.
Right.
I thought it was one of the other guys. I was gonna say I was gonna go talk to the leader. But
the leader definitely seemed to be the magic user. The leader definitely seemed to be the guy that was like, using the phosphorescent mist. Hello, Selena.
I was gonna try so you said those glowworm things, they're still all over the walls in this area?
No. I mean, yes, okay. There are some on the walls, but it's not nearly as pronounced as it is out. Like it definitely seems like the small worms have an affinity with the large worms for some reason.
Are there large areas of the wall that have no worms on them at all?
Not large areas, but there's definitely areas.
What about the floor?
They're not on the floor at all. They're not on the floor at all.
Is the floor dirt or stone?
They're not even like lower than like 3 or like they're sort of like they seem to be really focused on like the ceiling and like the walls and above, like about 2 or 3 feet up. That's where they kind of start.
Is the floor is dirt or stone?
It's both.
Is it movable dirt, like where you can?
You could definitely scoop it up and dig in it. And stuff.
Okay, I was
Oh
gonna
no, it's
try.
actually
like,
the unmovable kind of dirt.
it's well, that's what I mean. Like, is it like very hard, stiff, like clay-like?
Yeah, yeah,
dirt,
yeah, no,
or
yeah,
is
no,
it-
yeah, no, yeah.
Is
It's.
it
I mean, yeah.
is it like kind of loose, more loose dirt? Is it like topsoil?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna uh, with the leader, but if the leader's talking with Faye, um, I don't know if there's a secondary leader or
Well,
somebody else. That's like,
the guy that the leader spent most of his time talking to was the fellow with the two glowing swords, the two swords that glowed, the ones that looked like they were chemically made to glow as opposed to like magically made to glow.
I guess
Yeah,
maybe
that looks like
I'd go.
protector.
I'd go and talk with him or something.
Okay.
Or try to strike up a conversation with him. I was gonna try through instead of gestures through pictographs, since they clearly have eyes.
Yeah.
And they seem to know when I drew pictures before. They seem to know what I was talking about, or at least And one of them seemed to be a great artist because he drew like an almost photorealistic picture of
Yeah.
who's it? Theronwe or whatever?
Yeah.
Theronwe?
Yeah. Tearing me. Yeah.
Terranwe, that's right.
Turn.
So I guess I'll go up to him and strike up a conversation with him, and I was gonna try to through pictographs show draw maybe just a circle, and then point around the room, and then point to the circle.
Sure. Okay.
And then kind of trace, draw maybe like a little short tunnel, and then like a big.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So hold on. So you start with a circle. You gesture around the room. You point at that, and he looks at you. He looks at that. He does a weird kind of.
Well, first before I do that, I would try to maybe get some sort of rapport with him, maybe
Okay.
hi,
All right,
hello,
so,
how, something, and see if he's amenable. If he's like fuck you, who the hell are you? If he's kind of
yeah,
he doesn't seem like he's very attentive,
you walk
then I'm not
up,
gonna try anything.
You
with
walk
him,
up
but-
and he definitely seems like he does seem like he's got interest in what you're offering. The thing is but again, he also seems a little confused, but he's he definitely doesn't seem like he's hostile in any way. He definitely seems like he's open to but and so you walk up and that's how he's looking at you. What do you do as you walk up to him?
So
You slap his face. Okay.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah. You're just you're like this.
I'm like hello, and I put my hand on my chest, and I'm like Erloser.
Yeah. Okay.
I say hello, and I say Erloser. And then
he looks at you real quick, and he goes, and but it does again with the whistling kind of fluting sound, but it does sound like he was trying to approximate Airloser.
Yeah. I shake my head in an affirmative, I shake it yes, even though that may not be their gesture. I say yes, Erloser, yes, Erloser, and then I point to him.
Yeah. He actually does that to himself. So he goes so it sounds like he's trying to do with whatever his language can approximate. He's trying to approximate your sounds, the Airloser sounds, but he does the exact same gesture you do, as if it's so he touches him, he points at himself and tries to repeat back what you're saying, as if it's like a greeting.
Yeah. And then I say no, and I shake my head no.
And then he goes something that seems to approximate no, but sounds not entirely unlike no,
So then I slowly kind of tentatively reach for his hand.
Okay.
And see if he will give me his hand. I don't know if he'll if he.
So you reach out.
Branches away or something.
You reach out, and he's literally
hand,
looking at you. He's literally looking at you like I just was. He's like he looks down. He's like what else? What's next? He's what's going on next?
So I grab his hand and I put it on my chest. And I say Erloser,
Okay.
and then I put his hand on his chest.
Okay. Yeah. So all right. So yeah. So you do that, and then do you hold it there?
No, I hold his hand on my chest. And I say Erloser, and then I
Okay.
or
Yeah.
actually maybe I put my hands on my chest and say Erloser, and then I grab his hand and I put his hand on his chest, and I don't know how best to try to get that.
There's a lot of chesting going
Yeah,
on.
I think this is the same. I'm trying to do the same thing that was happening to William Cuddy, but on the opposite side. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
initiated.
Yeah. And so yeah. So yeah. So you do that, and so he waits until you're done, and then he repeats the exact same process to you. So
And he says, "Erloser to me," and then
yeah.
Erloser
He does the exact. He does everything. He basically just repeats everything that you just did. But again, he's not able to say Erloser, but he's able to like kind of approximate it with his like whatever fluting, the fluting sounds he makes, But that's like, and then he smiles. He's like he does that, and he's like, yeah, we got it, we did it. This is awesome, Look, it's like
I'm like, all right, cool.
You definitely,
Cool, whatever.
You definitely do get the impression that he's like, that's fucking great. Finally, we're communicating.
I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So then I'm like, give up on that. And then I start, since he seems to be amenable, I start drawing. I draw a little circle.
Okay.
Like maybe because I'm basically gonna this is gonna be a big drawing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I want to start it small.
So where are you drawing? Where are you drawing? Are you drawing in the dirt?
Like, yeah, in the dirt, on the ground,
Yeah.
like between him and myself.
Yeah.
And I draw a little circle. And I point around the room, and I point to the circle.
Yeah. And so he looks at the circle, he looks around the room, and he looks at you, and he gives you a strange shrug. He gives you like it's like a strange shrug. It's again it's not like just shoulders up. It's like a kind of a full body kind of shrug. But yeah, and so yeah, but he yeah. Anyway, it's a strange kind of like shrug. Go ahead.
I assume that's like maybe he's not getting it quite yet, but like he understands. Maybe I don't know, but I'll just keep going forward. So then I draw like a little maybe 2 lines, and try to draw the shape of somewhat approximating the tunnel that we came through.
Okay. Sure.
Like maybe not exactly, but kind of like
sure. Yeah. As far as you can remember,
turns, as far as I can remember, some twists and turns. And I point to the entrance where we came in, out to the tunnel, and I point to that spot on the circle, and then I trace it out, like.
So yeah, and again, you get the same kind of like the same kind of shrug thing. The thing is that like although he definitely seems a lot more intent, and he definitely seems a lot more intent on the drawing, and so he does this kind of the same kind of shrug thing, and then you hear him like kind of like do a little kind of declamatory like this weird kind of like kind of thing, and that actually perks up the attention of one of the others that's sitting not too far away, and they kind of look over at what's going on.
Okay. So then I continue and I draw like a larger area where it's that basically the canyon, like, or the side of the canyon, and then I try to draw like a little kind of rivery type thing, and I draw the other side of the canyon, like, very rudimentary, like 2 lines, maybe some stuff, maybe, and I try to draw the 2 ruins that we met.
Yeah,
in.
Sure.
Like on either side of the river,
sure.
And I point around to everybody, and I point at him, and I point at me and all of us, and I'm like that, like joined together, and I point at those 2 spaces.
So yeah, so he looks at you, looks at that, like again he doesn't, like, he seems pretty confused for a second. And then he does a little strange whistle again, and then what he does is he actually picks up his own like he just picks up like a piece of Actually, he pulls out his dagger, and
I put my hand on my sword. No.
yeah, he pulls out his dagger and then he just plunges it into your heart repeatedly, over and over and over again. No, yeah. So he pulls out his dagger and he looks down. He looks down at what you've done, and he starts really quickly kind of flushing it out, and he actually starts making it like he starts in the little tiny circle you've got, he does he starts building in detail that gets it's you're he starts basically kind of fleshing out your map, in pretty ridiculously intricate detail, he just starts doing all and he's and he starts doing some shifting and some stuff, and he's and he does it for maybe about 10 minutes, and then you've got a pretty well rendered map, and he looks up,
right.
and then he gives the same kind of whistle, but it's a little bit more pronounced. It definitely seems like that's an affirmative,
Okay. And I'm I look at it and I'm like, fucking A, man. And I'm like, yes,
yeah,
You gotta do the whistle.
Yeah, and I do the whistle. Yeah, I do the. I try to mimic the affirmative whistle.
Yeah, oh yeah, and literally, they all of them erupt laughing, all six of them just start laughing. They're
You sound like a retarded.
But they all kind of come to you. So this interrupts everybody's conversation, and they all kind of come to Airloser, and they all look down at and he starts, and this the guy with the two swords, he starts it sounds like he's explaining kind of what just happened, And they're like, oh, that's crazy. Again, you can tell that they're interested. Their reactions, the way they react, they keep doing the same. They keep doing the weird kind of shrug thing, that at first seemed to you that it was they didn't understand, they didn't care, they're whatever. But now it's beginning to see, as you're seeing them, it definitely seems like that's their way of saying, oh, I get it. Oh, I see. It definitely seems to be their expression of I'm understanding,
So after I get their attention again, or after they're done explaining to each other, we don't have to go through the whole thing, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw from where we met them. I'm going to rudimentarily draw the rest of the canyon back to where we fought the spiders. Back to the door that we came through, and maybe draw some pillars with the little very rudimentarily the little statues or whatever we saw in between them. Out that door into the larger room with the coffins and all the zombies and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, as you're doing
whole chamber.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to draw our entire journey up to this point.
Yeah.
As quickly and rudimentarily as I can.
Okay. So,
which isn't that long. I mean, we haven't really gone through a ton of stuff.
Yeah. So hold on. So as you get to the other side, as you get to that place, the thing is they all start kind of chirruping, pretty excitedly, and then he actually stops you, he puts his hand on, and then he actually does some design, he starts doing some design that seems to be but he does it all over everything you've just drawn. He he basically does this it looks like it's a lady. It looks like it's the shape of a lady, but she's got a for the lack, it's not really a skull face, but it's definitely kind of a monster face. It definitely does smack of a skull. And the thing is, and he does that, and then circles it, and then puts his dagger right in the center, as if he's this is this person, has just taken over this entire drawing,
Do we? Does anyone recognize him? That person?
So wait, he draws that.
So yeah, so as you're drawing the
drawing that I'm drawing adds to the person, we're in shape of a person,
as you're starting to draw basically the ruins that you guys came out of, right? Mm-hmm. So as you're just first drawing that whole thing, he stops you and interrupts, and then he draws over so as you're kind of framing out framing out the area that you came from with all the pillars and the stations and all that. So that's because that's the next. So as you left the, as you join, as you enter the canyon, right? You guys left that area. So as you're framing out that area, like he stops you and he draws what seems to be a feminine body shape, but the face is like kind of skull,
like inside the area that I'm drawing.
Yeah.
Not my drawing makes up the woman.
Yeah, no. He just draws.
Okay.
He draws within that box area, and then he circles it, and then kind of stabs down the dagger, and he's like that's this is that.
Okay. So I guess I would, since everybody's around me now looking at this design, I don't know what everybody else is doing. William Cody's probably getting ready for bed or whatever. Faye's no longer talking to the leader because he's over here.
Yeah.
I don't know if Faye came over with
him.
him.
So how is everybody reacting? How is everybody reacting?
Yeah, but
basically
whoever's not over there, I would call them over there and say like, hey, Sigfroy, hey Faye, hey William Cuddy, whoever, come over here.
I think considering the fact that each of the people we were talking to
come over and see what's going on.
Yeah, they would have, we all would have kind of seen that people were gathering around Erloser while he was drawing this thing.
Yeah.
And we all would have probably all gotten there when he was stabbing it, and we were all like, "Whoa, shit, okay."
Yeah.
It's like and I look at everybody else and I'm like, do you think is that what they're after? Are they after this person? I don't know what this.
Well, the first question I have is, does anyone recognize it? Should we perception roll to see?
Yeah. So you would have.
I don't remember no skull face lady.
Yeah, you would actually have to make a.
That doesn't look like old skull-faced lady from Normandy. That
it's so go ahead. And it's going to be a pretty high. It's going to be.
I wonder if he means old skull-faced lady.
Go ahead and make a religion check. And it's going to be a pretty high DC.
Knowledge religion.
Yeah.
You probably have to have I'm assuming you have to have a skill in this.
You don't.
Yes.
Don't you have a skill in that, Erlos?
I do, but I don't know if everybody else does.
Yeah.
So I'll roll it, but I don't know if I don't know if you can actually make a check unless you have a.
No, yeah, it's one of those skills.
I got a critical miss, so I am obviously just,
So your brain just starts oozing out your nose. You start thinking about it, and you, which is really weird. You actually feel a shift. Like you feel a shift in your skull. You're like, whoa, which is really creepy feeling, and then you just feel this matter just start pouring out your nose.
So interestingly,
yes,
I do have it as a class skill, but I have a -1 modifier on it.
You can make a roll.
Oh. All right.
I got a
I had a critical miss too.
Yeah, all right, so same thing. Yeah, you guys, all of you just keep it's a crazy feeling, really, like feeling your brain shift out your nose.
Yeah, my brain.
Skip that thing back.
I have I rolled a 15, which I've got a +5, so I get a 20.
Yeah. So you actually hit it. So so the thing is like, so you recall in some of the old like demonology books that you read it kind of when you were studying to be a paladin. You actually recall that Nefrir. That this is one of the visages of like this is one of the ancient elven visages of one of the cults in Nefrir. Yeah.
So I relay that to everybody. I'm pretty sure that's a elven visage.
Yeah, and in fact, yeah. And so when you looked at, so when you see him draw that, and you look at like the thing is I mean, you remember, I mean, like that's the thing is that there are like there definitely are correlations between the Kokali and the things that they worship and Nefrir. Like there are correlations. There are similar visual imagery. There's similar like Nefrir is like, I mean, she on one level she is like certain of her, like the cultists that worship her, like she's the lady of the night, and she's kind of like the thing is that there's a sort of kind of Pollyanna-esque version of Nefrir, but the real dark, like the real deep understanding of Nefrir is a lot darker and a lot more like it's a lot scarier. It's all rooted in blood. It's rooted in sacrifice. It's rooted in pain. It's rooted in yeah. She's definitely a pretty like from what you recall and from like the cults, the early Nefarian cults were like brutal and scary and dealt with lots of blood magic and lots of blood sacrifices and the carving of still beating hearts and and that kind of thing.
Nothing pretty.
Yeah, not at all.
So
I
guess I'll relate this.
That here?
Yeah, I relate this back to everybody, and I look at everybody. I'm like, I think they're enemies of this. He put his dagger in it. I think they're enemies of this.
And
makes sense.
And Pindo, yeah. So Pindo walks over and he looks at it and he's like, and he starts. So only Sigfrid can actually understand what he's saying, but he's
I can understand.
Oh yeah, because you speak Kodaki as well. Yeah.
Well,
So
because I had the Kodaki friend as a child.
Yeah, that's right. That's
growing
right.
Up. So she would have taught me the language.
Yeah, so he's looking at it and he's like oh fuck. He's basically like he's just kind of swearing under he's like motherfucker, he's like that's fucking that's Kokali, that's the Kokali, that's to whom they offer up our skulls and our hearts, the thing is he's like this is not good at all.
Do y'all relay that to what he said to us, or?
Is she somehow
Do I know
related
that?
to the openers?
Yeah, because remember, so Yahweh who is or the God, like all of the demons are basically, as far as anybody knows, all of the demons are so from the opener's perspective,
At odds with.
from the opener's perspective, all of the demons are actually other gods, and that Yahweh is just one of many gods. But Yahweh just happens to have dominion over this realm, and the other gods want access to this realm. The whole church perspective is that actually all of the other people are the other entities are actually demons, and they're trying to invade.
Like false gods.
Yeah, they're false gods
demons,
and demons,
yeah.
and they're trying to invade this universe. So yeah, so it depends on who you're.
Yeah, they're not at equal footing with Yahweh.
Yeah.
They're
Certainly,
lesser beings that are trying to
compromise
yeah,
this universe.
usurp or
They do have some sway, but they can really only affect dreams. They they have to have human agents to actually enact their. But the thing is that they do. But it's been proven that through blood sacrifice, through these dark rituals, through this stuff, that they can actually damage they can actually increase her or their power temporarily in this realm for little spells of time, and so since 1876, no, yeah, this is just I mostly play music. My band Get Set Go. I'm the primary songwriter for a band called Get Set Go. I normally play music, but this is just a Wednesday night D&D thing.
So I guess I look at everybody. I'm like, I think they're trying to take this thing down. Do we want to help them, or do we want to just try to get out of here? Because our goal is to try to find our way out of here, but now we've got these people, and there's me personally, if there's evil, I might want to take it down.
Yeah,
I know we need to get out of here, but
as a paladin of as a Saint Martin, as a Order of Saint Martin paladin, I mean, you're on the side of God, right? You're on the side of Yahweh. Yeah. So things like and certainly
it's an enemy of Yahweh. I want to destroy it.
Yeah. My enemy is my friend, kind of thing. Certainly.
So I look at the rest of the party. I'm like, do we want to help them? It looks like they want to take this thing down. Do we want to help them here, or what, guys? I'm not gonna make the decision for the group.
Well, have we firmly established that they can help us get out of here in the first place?
I vote we rest.
Well, you vote we rest because you know you're going to be able to understand them when you wake up. We don't know that now.
No, I vote we rest because Sigroy's tired. Like, we've done, I think, at this point, 2 battles since we actually rested, and battles are entirely incredibly exhausting.
Yes.
Well, we've fought the
Unless
spiders at least.
Unless you're a
so
paladin.
endless reserves of energy.
Yes. Well, what I was gonna do is, if we want to help them fight this thing, I was going to take my own sword or borrow somebody's dagger, and next to them put our dagger,
Stab it in there.
stab it in there with them, as a gesture of, yeah, we'll help you with this.
Solidarity.
I mean, they saved our lives, so I feel like if we're gonna do it now, I don't see why we couldn't do that in the morning. But if we're gonna do it now, I vote sure they saved our lives.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I feel
Okay?
I feel that that this might have something to do with Torona and Tormodus being down here, and
Yeah.
perhaps they are working against them and their goals. So I am all for helping them.
Termithius.
Tormithius.
Yeah,
Yes.
Prometheus, yeah.
And I'm with him because, like, look, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get out of here by myself. So, you know, and I'm with, you know, I'm always with the team. So
What does Pendo think?
Yeah.
I don't care
I
what
don't-
Antha thinks, but what does
Why
Pendo think?
Why don't you ask him?
I
I
can't.
think it would go a long way if you did.
I mean, he does speak common. So yeah, you can
Okay.
talk to him.
Yeah, we just speak
So
Kodaki.
I look at everybody in turn, and everybody's pretty much like, yeah, sure, let's help them. And after I look at everybody, I look at Pendo, and I'm like, and what do you say?
This is the darkest of the Kokali magics. This is she is not a friend. She's an
And
enemy
he's
to all
saying
life.
this in
Yeah,
he's
she's saying this to
common?
you. Yeah, he's like she's an enemy to all life. She is the evil that steals our children. She is the evil that has destroyed the Kodaki, has killed Kodaki for millennia, since the beginning of the Kodaki.
No, but so what say you want to help us end her?
We can
Or help them end her?
we cannot end her. We can end it. We can hurt
We
her
can ally
people.
ourselves with.
We can we can hurt her people, but we can't end her. She's like God.
Okay, so.
But
I
yes,
guess,
I mean,
or-
but I mean,
I know we can't really end her, but whatever this thing is, I think they want to like try to stop it. Whatever it is, maybe it's her followers, maybe it's her ritual. I don't know, but if it's Nefrir, I definitely want to try to stop it. If I can, I want to do whatever I can.
I am definitely opposed. I'm 100% opposed to her and her minions, certainly.
Yeah. So is that a yes?
Well, what
Is that a
do
yes?
you
wanna help?
What are
Wanna
you
help with
asking?
whatever
So,
this is?
are you
I'm
saying
asking
do we
her
go to
if
war? Are you saying do we find her in her heaven and do we try to stab her in the heart? No, that would be insane because that wouldn't happen. We couldn't pull that off. But are you saying should we oppose her? Should we oppose her people? Yes. Are you saying should we go and hunt down every one of her people? They're too numerous. They're the entire Kokali. We can't kill all the Kokali.
Or like what if we just like ally ourselves with these people and find out what this is in this area that's clearly there's something in this area right here that it looks like they want to go. I don't know if it's her herself or if it's followers of her, but
Sure.
I'm down for stopping them.
Sure.
Are you in?
I'm in.
All right, cool. So then I think my sword might be too big. Does somebody have a dagger?
I'd pull out the dagger that I'm using as on the sash belt thing and hand it to him.
All right, so I take the dagger and I look at, I guess, their leader,
Yeah.
or the whole group of them, and I wave the dagger in front of all of us, Hendo and everybody, and then I grab it and I stab it into the figure that he drew.
Okay, yeah, and then and they look at you guys and they all kind of do that weird kind of like whistling thing, and then they all give you that weird shrug, and they look up and they smile.
They smile.
Yeah.
They look like they're smiling. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess that's good enough. I was going to like continue to draw the rest of the chambers and try to give them kind of a little bit of our history,
Yeah, sure.
in like the skull. So I don't know if we keep doing that or if
Sure. I mean,
if
yeah,
we're done,
yeah. So
but-
if you as you do that, they definitely seem it definitely seems to kind of agitate them.
as I draw more.
Yeah, as you draw more, it definitely seems, and so as you get deeper into the drawings, the spellcaster, the leader guy actually just holds his hand over the drawing and starts chanting.
Okay.
Well,
Is
they're
it
not-
what
they're not-
kind of
they're
chanting?
they're not stopping you. They're not stopping you from doing the drawing, but for some reason, like he seems.
Oh,
like,
he's warding it. Yeah.
He seems kind of like yeah. So he's doing something over the thing as you're drawing, And they're and all the others of them, they definitely seem sort of anxious, like they definitely seem like So, yeah.
All right. So I draw the skull room.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, and
Draw a big
that
skull
yeah.
there.
What's that? Yeah.
And I draw an X over the skull.
Okay. Oh yeah. And so yeah. And again, they seem so. The leader guy, he's chanting. He doesn't seem to be reacting at all. I mean, he's still watching. He's still following with his eyes, but he seems intent on whatever it is that he's doing. But the others actually seem pretty shocked by the fact that you guys. By the fact that you guys that this is occurring, and then William Cuddy, the girl that you were kind of interacting with, she says something and she starts reacting, and then she actually does cups her hand and kind of points at you, and cups her hand and she's motioning towards you and your bags.
Points at me.
No, she points at William Cuddy.
William Cuddy.
At my bags.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I draw an X on the skull, and then I go and grab one of the other stone. I think I gave them one stone. I think you gave them all your stones, William Cuddy.
Yeah.
I go and grab one more stone, or it may still be on me. I don't know what I've taken off or whatever. But I grab one of the other stones and I point to that room and I hold up the stone.
Yeah. And then they actually get pretty agitated. You can't tell. I mean, it's tough to tell if it's excited, agitated, but they're definitely in a little bit of a tizzy over this reaction. They all kind of but again they're talking amongst themselves. But the guy that definitely seems like the guy that should be giving them guidance is instead just kind of focusing over the drawing while just kind of doing something. It definitely his hand is basically covered in that mist, and it's definitely glowing pretty bright as he's doing this thing. But what he's doing exactly, you're not 100% certain.
So then I guess from there I draw the sarcophagi room, and the zombie. I do a little zombie or something, and maybe several of them or something. And then I draw the room where the prisoners were held. Right from there.
Yeah.
or I don't remember what was from. I think there's the room with the prisoners and all that stuff, and I draw like basically I get all the way to the glass
Yeah,
glass
yeah,
door thing,
yeah.
and I draw that, and I like I don't know what else from there, but that's kind of where we came in.
Yeah, yeah, and then there was the Chamber of Stars that you guys went through, right? So then
yeah,
like,
well, yeah, and then beyond that is the Chamber of Stars, and then it's a whole bunch of tunnels, and then it's out to the canyon.
yeah.
That
So
we came
you're
through.
drawing all of this.
Well, like I don't know, like depending on what, like they obviously had some reactions so far.
Yeah. No,
If
yeah. I mean, they've been basically talking amongst themselves in a pretty
got
frenzied.
time. This is gonna be resting, so we've got time.
Yeah.
I can draw a lot in 30 minutes or an hour or so, But I'm trying to give them a little bit of our history.
Yeah. All right. So you draw the whole route. You draw the whole route all the way back to like the entrance.
As much as I can.
Yeah, the entrance to the ruins. Yeah. And so, all right. So I mean, do you draw your route all the way back to St. Martin, or do you just draw to the entrance of the ruins? How far do you go?
I'll draw it and then I'll like maybe go out to the canyon, and then I'll do like a separate drawing of the island, and I'll draw the city, and I'll draw like the forest and where the canyon is, and I'll like maybe link them up or something, point and do like or maybe dotted line or something.
So
this is general cartography stuff.
Yeah. So once you get sort of outside of the ruins, you can tell that you're kind of losing them. Like the thing is it like the things that you're drawing don't even seem to really like they're like they definitely seem the tenor of the conversation. I think we lost Craig. The tenor of the conversation is changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the flavor.
Like they're not as interested in.
No. It definitely seems like they're interested. It seems like there's just a change in the way that they're talking about it.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my camera, but
your video's out.
It's highly possible that they've never been outside of the cave. Possibly, maybe they don't even have a conception of it.
Okay, so stepping outside, Airloser probably wouldn't believe this. Maybe, I don't know. I hadn't really figured out how he takes this, but they could be extra dimensional beings that.
Or just elves that got trapped down here.
They could be from some other world that also is attached to these ruins somehow. So everything past these ruins they don't have any concept of, because that's our world, not theirs. Or they could be elves that have been trapped down here for millennia and have evolved into their current state.
Yeah, both of those are great theories, and so we'll have to see when you guys can actually talk to them.
Yeah. So like after I kind of draw that journey, then I like.
So when you're done drawing, like
I kind of want to give them like I want to draw like Odd, and in the rest of the party, and I want to like kind of show what we started out with and kind of point to everybody and give the names, things like that. Like I kind of want to do some general, like these are us, these are our names, these are start doing stuff like that and try to give them a
so you draw like a little stick figure of you and you're like Airloser, this is me. William Cuddy and Big B.
Yeah,
and Faye
and
Big B
aren't there. But then I draw them in the room with the prisons and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then I draw them moving forward, like with us, like each room I draw our party, like who we had, kind of, you know what I mean?
Big drawings.
Who we've lost along the way, stuff like that.
Okay, so
well, like I said, I mean we're in this room, we got time, right? We're basically gonna take it fast, so I'm sure we have hours, so I'm taking this time to try to. This is how I'm going to communicate with them.
Yeah.
You guys are casting spells. I'm making drawings.
Well, aren't we like, in all seriousness, at some point we will need to sleep.
No. You guys decided that you're just instead going to go insane and then die of sleep deprivation. So. Craig, you're still not camera enabled. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we still got a. I got a circle.
Unless wait, hold on. Do you feel like you are perhaps a swirling gray circle?
A swirling gray incomplete circle that's chasing itself.
Because if that's he's gonna do what? What's he saying?
Restart Skype.
I'm gonna
Okay.
restart
Okay,
Skype.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, I'm gonna hit the lavatory real quick. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in just a second.
Okay.
So, well, what I was gonna say, Matt, is that's basically all I was gonna do. So,
Oh, okay.
so once we're done with that, if there's no more reaction from the people or there's no more information we think we can glean, then it's time to rest. So. So, how about them sports teams?
Oh,
We are.
sports.
Sports.
How about that sports ball?
I like sports.
The team from my area is superior to the team from your area.
Well, that's funny because I don't have a team from my area, so.
I mean, we've.
You got teams from your area. You got the Longhorns.
Oh, if we're talking
Yep.
college, then I do not associate with the team from my area. I associate with the team from where I graduated.
Here we go.
Hey, there he is. He's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Although there was I guess it caused the camera to crash until I installed a camera update.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, well, that sucks.
Well, good. I'm glad you're back. So all right. So we'll say that you do manage to convey again. You're not 100% certain how much of it they fully understand. Again, you do get a little better at kind of understanding their gestures and kind of understanding that they are comprehending a bit of it. You know, they definitely are able to identify kind of like at least like the thing is again, they try to pronounce your names once they realize, oh, you're actually saying these are you guys. Again, there's something weird about there's something weird about the way that they're apprehending your names. You're not 100% certain what that's all about. The thing is, like, there just definitely seems to be some kind of like confusion with some of the stuff. So anyway, so that's but the thing is but you definitely do seem to be able to convey at least it definitely seems like they understand that this is where you guys came from. That you've just drawn a map back to the places that it seems like they were not even aware of. You know, and definitely seemed excited about certain aspects of it, you know, and then that's about it.
Okay, so I guess if there's nothing else we can glean from that, I don't have much else I can suggest to continue conversation. It's getting late. We're tired. We've had battles.
Yeah.
We probably should rest.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Great. So you guys crash out.
Yes.
Finally sleep. And so the next morning you guys are up and
as we lay down, do they?
Oh, what's that? So yeah, no. So
their areas,
actually they're still up and kind of about. Are you guys going to keep an eye on them while you're dozing off? Or are you going to keep an eye on like?
We should probably have a watch. Even though like these people seem friendly, we should probably have somebody awake, just in case. Because even if they're friendly and we're not really that concerned about them, something could happen and they may not know how to awaken us if they don't understand the concept of sleep. You know, like we don't know anything about them, so we should probably have somebody awake and watching just to wake us
Yeah.
up
So
if we need to wake
who's
up. or
taking
something.
first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Okay. So about maybe after about 45 minutes after everybody else lays down, you notice that 3 or 4 of them actually go and they sit. Each of them sits a little bit differently, but they kind of sit in the center of those circles, and they just kind of stop moving. Like their eyes are still kind of slightly open, but they just kind of sit there and they just stop moving.
Well, I know
You know.
about elves being able to like meditate instead of sleep, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this doesn't seem too strange to me.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, the method by which they're doing it is a little bit weird. Like you're not accustomed to them like with their eyes open and and sort of the strange sort of positions that they're sitting in. But yeah, it definitely does seem like some weird permutation of just sort of the elven meditation. Oh, can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying I'm not going to bother waking anyone up or
Okay,
anything like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You should go like bang pots next to them, like keep them awake. Okay, yeah. So there are.
So all right, so we're gonna cut to Sigfroy for a second. So Sigfroy, so you fall asleep, and you're dreaming, and you're back in the house that you were in, when while you were being kind of held prisoner as a little kid. But you definitely know you're an adult. You definitely know. But the thing is that like, but the scale of everything still feels like you're a kid, like you're in a kid's body, and everything is scaled to like you know. I mean, you know who you are. You look at yourself and you still feel like you're an adult, but you're all like you're like you've been scaled down. So you're like so you're like sort of halfling size, I mean,
Yeah,
child halfling size,
Think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you were in the room that you were kept in. So now in this room, like you guys, I mean, you were fed, but that was about it. Like you guys were fed, and you were kind of let out to use the bathroom, But the thing is that but for the most part, it was just you and a handful of others just in this room, for long stretches of time. Now the thing is I mean, there were actually books there, but you couldn't read them. There was stuff, there was a candle, but you had no way of lighting the candle, until but in this room you're by yourself. And again, you're looking around. And then you realize, oh wait, no, there's actually someone sitting on the bed.
Okay. I go and try and see who it is in my dream.
Okay, and so you turn and faces like, and again it's dark and like dreams, it's kind of murky. It's like there's a fog. Like it's like you have a hard time making out their features. It definitely feels like it's a woman or maybe a man in robes, but sitting down, definitely with long hair. There's definitely a sense of menace. There's definitely a sense of like that if you play this wrong, you will be hurt. And so that's when you turn around and you actually look at them. You start walking towards them.
Just enough to see who they are.
Okay, so you start walking, and it's like the when Frodo, if you guys remember Lord of the Rings, the original Lord of the Rings, when he looks down the path, and he feels like he looks down the path and the Nazgul is not approaching, but he feels that something's wrong. It basically the visual effect that they make is they have a dolly and they're zooming. They're zooming while they're pulling back, so it creates this sense of like things are stretching while nothing's actually moving. Well,
You have a dolly
right.
zoom in your dream.
Yeah. So you're kind of experiencing something like that where you feel like you're getting closer, you're walking towards them, but this person is staying at the same distance, but you know that their eyes are on you. The thing is and Like the thing is that you don't feel like you don't feel like you've got a choice. Like the thing is that if you wanted to stop walking now, you're not even certain you could.
Okay.
And you hear, and so there's this, and you hear this like kind of like very quiet. You can't tell if it's masculine, you can't tell if it's feminine, but it's this low voice. Come, Sigfroy. Come, Sigfroy.
And am I still?
Yeah, you're still walking towards them. You're not getting closer, but you're still walking.
Right. And so I'm saying though, am I able to stop walking if I wanted to?
Do you try?
Yes.
Okay, no, yeah, you're not. You're sort of like, yeah. You're like I want to kind of, because there's a sense like the moment you feel like you want to stop walking and you're not able to is the moment that that's when you start noticing a sense of dread, a sense of terror, and
I don't like this.
And this voice, and again, it's you can't tell if it's feminine, you can't tell if it's masculine. It is kind of lower register, but there's still something about the harmonics that suggests it might be feminine. And you hear this like, come, Sigfroy, we are not yet done. Come to me.
No, thank you.
You must.
Very,
It was
very
ordained.
sexual.
It
There's a
was
lot of coming.
ordained.
Very sexual.
No, thank you.
You were promised. You were promised to me, and I was promised to you. Come.
No.
No, just no.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
next,
I'll pass.
maybe
I'll
next,
pass.
maybe next Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Like not right now. I can't do. I'm sure I'd love to. I can't do it right now.
It's just like, man, have you
maybe-
seen?
yeah.
Like, it's just not a good time for me. I'm in the middle of a lot of stuff.
Trying to close on a house here. And
Yeah.
I can help you, Sigfroy. I can help you. Just ask.
Oh,
me.
do you know a good lender?
Ask me to help you. Ask me to help you. What can I do? I will help
I
you.
saved a bunch of money in my car insurance.
By switching to my haunted evil spirit.
switching to Nefrir.
Yeah. I saved a ton on my damnation by switching to Nefrir. Yes.
In
So
15 minutes or less.
So again, yeah. So the thing is like so just come, ask me. What can I do for you?
What can you do for me?
I can help you, of course.
And what would you do with helping me?
I can help you. I can help you understand
Understand what?
things that you do not understand. What things do you not understand? What can I help you with?
See, you're being incredibly vague. If you were able to actually help me in any meaningful manner, you would
I've
be able
been
to do more.
helping you. I've been helping you. I've always been helping you. I can help you more. I can help you more, Sigfroy. Let me help you more.
For someone who claims to be able to help, you have not given any concrete evidence to your ability to do so.
Well, when your friend
Really, no question of what the word concrete means in this universe.
They have concrete.
They have concrete.
and the word and we're not gonna like the thing is we're not gonna equivocate over word we're
The
just
Romans
assume,
had concrete.
we're gonna assume
Oh,
that,
really?
that we're
Didn't know
gonna we're gonna assume that the common vernacular applies kind of
isn't-
across the board, so
This isn't
Sure.
this
I-
isn't
after-
Dungeons and etymology.
yeah.
After making fun of howdy, I had to.
Oh no, but no. The idea is how do you would work, but he wouldn't know that kind of colloquialism, because it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just.
Like howdy does work within the realm of this world as a greeting. It's just I wanted to demonstrate that Pindo was still a little bit of an outsider.
He's
more
a bit more codec.
that you're
Yeah.
more integrated into the human society than he is. That's why I actually had that little moment.
Well, alrighty then. But continue. I cut you off.
So he, she, it, whatever is like I do help you. When your friend was wounded, I gave you the ability to heal his wounds. When you and lists off just a number of things that you've like spells that you've cast. That this entity is taking responsibility for.
What is your name?
You know my name.
I do not.
You do know my name. You're just not asking yourself the right questions. You'll know my name in time.
At that time, I may be able to accept your help.
You've already accepted my help. I'm offering you more. I'm offering you understanding. I'm offering you the ability to negotiate your world much more easily.
I'm offering the ability to cast even more water.
Comprehend language.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with this conversation at this point.
All right, what you're looking for the ability to fucking understand what these guys are saying, right?
Well, yeah, but I thought I was getting that regardless.
He's trying to work it in
Yeah, he's trying to
with
make it
your
make sense.
whole like you've got this
Right,
whole
but-
haunted thing.
No,
Yes.
and you're like, and you're saying, prove to me that you can help me, right? So,
Right.
so the thing is, so you're saying, prove to me that you can help me. You're I'm trying to create a good story component that allows you to to kind of get this ability and then be like, oh shit, there's somebody that has access to my head that's been apparently giving me my powers that I don't know about that also creates in me a sense of menace, which is not good.
You kind of
Okay.
fucked up.
I didn't put this in my head. Someone else did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But okay, yeah, no, that works.
So what's her name?
I still don't know that part.
Maybe you need to give her a name. Maybe it's like a never-ending story.
Yeah.
Moonchild.
Say her name.
Really? That's the name you chose for me, Moonchild? Really?
Say her
That's it?
name, Sebastian.
Yeah.
Say her name.
Say my name, Siegfried.
Steve. No. I
Kind of,
don't know.
what kind of mystical name is Steve? Steve.
But that's not a thing that I've determined is whether or not I know your name. Like it's a thing where.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I mean, definitely. She intimated or he intimated that it is something but it's not some. It's something subconscious or it's something, it's something that you haven't yet unlocked yourself.
Right. Now I forgot where we were in this conversation. We got on a side jab.
So he, she, it was asking you. I can help you. I can help you. Just what do you need? I can help you understand. I can help you. I can help make your passage smoother and easier.
Well, at the moment.
And again, you did that because you challenged her. You're like, prove to me that you can help me. Prove to me that you can help me. And
Yeah,
she's like,
well, at the moment, it'd be really helpful to be able to understand our new friends.
No. They're strange. These creatures, but I think I can help you. When next tomorrow, when you are faced with their language, just think on me. Think on me.
I will.
Okay, Siegfried. I'll see you. Don't be a stranger. And then and the thing is and then it's funny. So the thing is like, so the sense of walking, like the entire time you were talking to her, like you kind of weren't even paying attention to the fact, but you still were walking towards him, her, and not making any distance, not getting closer, but still there was a sense of like, and then that weight, and you're suddenly released from that, like you're like, whoa, shit, and it definitely, you didn't realize that there was a sense of like a sense of terror, as well as a sense of weight. Like there really was it felt like a pretty horrible burden kind of laid on you during the course of that conversation. And so that way, so we'll say that and then you sleep through the night. So
Okay.
all right, so next day. So I'm gonna grab some more water real quick. So we're gonna start off with the next day.
Okay.
You guys need to figure out what's you gotta need to get from there.
I'm gonna go get a snack real quick, actually.
Oh, look at me! I'm getting a snack.
Haven't you done well? Still have yet to see them live.
What's that?
See who live.
Auntie Donna.
Haven't you done well as an MC Donna bit?
Yeah.
When are they playing? Where are they playing?
I don't know, but every time they're playing, I've always got something else going on that I can't get out of.
Stupid.
So.
That's fucking stupid.
Pretty
No,
stupid.
yeah. Sorry, man. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Oh, that's right. You did come to that first one.
I did.
When
I mean,
was,
they played Austin how many times now? Twice or something?
Twice,
And
yeah.
I hadn't been able to make either one of them.
All right, so yeah. Oh well, I guess we're waiting for Craig, aren't we? Curses. Okay, so unfortunately, guys, I have to call it at 10. I think we've gotten far enough along that we'll still be all set for the next.
We can do like a little morning thing if you want, and then we can.
Yeah.
Morning?
Yeah, like when we wake up.
Yeah, like a little morning thing of like, now we can understand them, have a little bit of a dialogue, and then we can end it somewhere before we move on.
So yeah, I want to see Sigfroy to actually figure out what the hell they're talking about and try and. I mean, because you're not going to be able to communicate back to them, but.
Right. This is gonna get, and I honestly think this might be better story-wise than just trying to learn it.
Well, yeah,
Well,
because
eventually
you're
we
going to be
will
able to
learn it, but
understand
yeah.
them, but they're not going to be able to understand us. So you can hear all their, like, these fucking morons. They can't understand a simple. You're going to hear them saying all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Craig's back.
All right. Oh yeah. So all right. So okay. So you guys. So yeah, you guys wake up in the morning.
Yeah, we got 30 minutes left.
Yeah. So you wake up and these creatures, these elves or whatever they are, they're actually already up and they're already kind of like about. Who is the last person to take watch? William Cuddy? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, me.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, man. So it's crazy. Like the thing is that like,
Ain't the Pindo stayed?
Yeah. And Pindo actually took a watch. I'm assuming you guys did not let Antha take a watch.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So William Cuddy. So there's a point in time while you're actually watching the so you're kind of hanging out, what have you. And there's a moment where you kind of turn your head, like, you're kind of like looking out you're hearing, because you can still hear the worms in the distance. And sometimes there's like a roar or a bellow or and so you're probably kind of like looking that way for about 5 minutes. And when you look back, you're kind of startled because all of the elves are actually up and about and doing stuff. Like they were like super silent. So they went from like totally quiet and you like in the still of night to like them actually being about, like moving very silently, but just doing shit. You're like, whoa, shit.
Now, does it seem like they were trying to be considerate of us because most of our party was still asleep, or does that just seem like how they were?
Definitely, they're not pretty noisy unless they're conversing. They're not pretty noisy just as a general rule, But but the thing is but like usually they make some sound, and the thing is that like they definitely look like they were sort of like in like they were into their morning whatever it was that whatever the fuck there is that they're doing, and they made no sound
Right.
you're like, oh shit, so
Okay. Um. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of. I think what I would do is just observe them for a little bit and see like what kind of stuff they do. I mean, have they noticed me? That I'm awake or anything like that? Or...
Yeah. So the one that you befriended.
Mhm.
She actually like sees that you're up, and she kind of smiles and walks over and says something kind of fluting, and like and then it kind of beckons you over towards the thing in the center, and and the other, so and you actually, there's a smell kind of coming from the from that main
Lava
the center
pit?
thing, center pit. That actually smells pretty damn delicious. There's some it smells of like earth and like kind of curry and spices, and like it smells real savory, but
That does
it
sound,
smells
that does sound good.
real good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just kind of observe, what they do, what their routine is, just to, see. Um, I mean, has because I'm assuming we were doing like 2 to 3 hour watches or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
probably
sure what time it is or
probably
anything
2
like
hours.
that. There's
You have five
yeah,
of you there. You're probably doing 2 hour watches, so.
yeah, there's not really any way to tell what time it is or anything like that. So I'm not, I guess what I'll do is I'll just observe them for maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll go wake everybody else up, so I can just kind of see how they behave without us influencing their, or minimally influencing them. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, and so most of them seem to be actively working on things that like so they're either sharpening or tending to their weapons. They all of them
Mhm.
have this kind of like, again, it's kind of form-fitting kind of chitinous armor, and they've and they're and so some of them are like kind of addressing that, and like kind of like like cleaning it or fixing it, or like adding to it or subtracting from it, but all of them seem to be doing stuff that seems to be kind of martial in focus. So like
Okay.
weapon sharpening, armor fixing,
Yeah.
things like that. Except for the girl that is your friend. She seems to be the one that's making whatever it is that's in the center pot.
Okay. And one other question before I wake everybody else up: is it now that I'm a little more familiar with their anatomy and their build and stuff like that, like, does she appear to be the only female, or are
No,
there any others? You know what I mean?
it definitely seems like it definitely seems like there's 3 females and three males.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess I observe all this stuff, and then I go start waking up the rest of the party.
Okay, cool.
You know.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So all right. So you guys are all woken by William Cuddy. What? I mean, I don't think it really matters what order you guys are woken up in, because everybody's kind of waking up and kind of getting going pretty slow. But yeah. So and you guys, when you guys wake, you see that all of these elves are kind of like going about their business, and they definitely seem like they're going about their business with a purpose in mind.
Yeah. So, do any of them appear to be well, they're just working on their like various weapons.
Yeah, the leader, the spellcaster guy, he's he is he seems to be doing something like you can't like he's he's doing something that seems sort of martial arty. You know, like the thing is like he's doing some sort of like slow kind of moving. It looks like a dance or something. Like I mean, it looks kind of like Tai Chi, but you know, but an elven. Like it's like he's doing this weird kind of real slow motion kind of dance thing.
Well, I guess I just cast comprehend language.
Okay.
And
So-
start listening in on what they're saying.
Yeah.
So
Hold on, I think
Do
I
you
pulled
know
up
you
the
can
wrong-
do that?
Well, I said,
Well, the person in his dreams seemed to.
yeah, so I mean, really, truthfully, the way that you cast it, like the thing is, like literally, like so you hear them. So there's three of them all talking. There's three of them all talking to each other, and again, so you get up and you remember what was said, and so you look at them and focus, and you think on this person, the person in your dream, and suddenly you start hearing the fluting starts to make sense. You're still hearing it as fluting. You're not hearing it as common, but it's just starting to make sense. But the one thing that you notice is that it definitely seems like they're finishing each other's sentences. Like they are, like the thing is it like they're talking, and it definitely seems like each of them has their own kind of perspective. But even so, they're also, so you know, like so they're like so what do you think about, so you're listening in, and they're like, so what do you think of the small one? He's which small one? You mean the one that was outside? Now, and all of this is happening, coming out of like different, like it's staggered between all of them. Like they're yeah. It's just
Like one of them would say
like one
what
of them
do you
starts
do?
and goes,
And then another one will say think of, and another one will say the small one, and then another one will answer.
Yeah. So
like
but again, it's a conversation. They're having a conversation. It's just that it doesn't seem to be like kind of contained to one of the bodies, you know. And so
So is it like so it's almost like a collective conversation?
yeah, it's sort of like
Like we won't
it's sort of like
kinda-
it's sort of like a hive mind, but except for the fact that there's different personalities and they're just using.
Right.
They're using all, like, yeah. So the thing is there's this weird kind of like, you know, anyway, yeah. So, and and so they're talking, and they're like, oh yeah, the one that stayed outside. He seems a bit hostile, don't you think? Do you think we'll be able to work with him? And what do you think? And what do you think? What do you think the big one was saying when he took that knife and stabbed it into Nefrir? Like, do you think he knows exactly what that? Oh yeah, wait, I forgot to say. So at the end of the day, when you guys were done, when it was obvious that you were done drawing, the guy with the two swords actually just totally fucked up the design. And then at that point in time, the leader stopped chanting. And
Yeah,
so,
like he wiped the design away.
yeah. So the design was wiped away, and then the leader stopped chanting. And so they're like do you think do you realize, like, so he stabbed the image of Nefrir, like that's so, and he's not even initiated. Like, I can't, like, do you know, like, wow, it's like he doesn't even know how much danger he was in. Thank God we had number one there. And yeah.
I just say, and this is all in common, we did want to assist you with the plight against Nefrir, hoping that they get the point of
Oh,
Yeah.
or like maybe
look, the
you
little
don't even
ones-
know. You don't even know that you're not.
Right. As far as you're,
Like,
maybe you're
thinking
speaking
that
in
you
their language.
understand them, they understand you, but
Oh
you
look!
don't know
Hey,
that you're
hey,
speaking
Vargon. I'm sorry, man. I've been super busy, dude. I'm planning on actually getting to your website after this show, man. I'm so sorry. I'm gearing up for my tour, and I've just been super crazy busy. But I'm super excited to take a look at it, brother. And I will get back to you. Right on, man. Right on. Awesome. But yeah, so right now we're doing some D&D, and we're at a pretty intense moment because. So yeah, so they say. Oh yeah, right on, man, right on. And it actually looks like it's the three females, all of them talking, and they go, oh look, the little one's speaking to us. Do you know what he said? Like it's so strange. They really, I don't understand why they're so difficult to like. They couldn't even get. And again, this is all of them jumping between each other. They didn't even get that I was saying that I was trying to tell him that he
smells.
yeah. So they're like, and she's like, I was trying to tell the cute one that he was, that he was himself and not us. And he didn't, and it seems so strange that he didn't get that. Isn't that weird? I don't understand how obviously their connections don't seem to be as well integrated as ours, because they definitely seem to have a lot more chaos amongst their interactions than us.
Yep, that's true.
All the arguing, yeah.
Oh wait, so they're like, oh, but the little one's speaking again. What's
I just start.
Should I try to talk to him?
Everything that they're saying, I just start relaying to everyone else consistently.
Oh, so you're literally, oh yeah, so you're literally saying what they're saying, like you're translating it right there. You're like, all right, okay, yeah. So, all right, so now
his skill does not also confer an ability to speak their language.
No, yeah,
right?
he doesn't. So he's understanding.
Understand.
He's understanding. So therefore he can translate. Hey, how you doing, Tony? Good to see you, brother T-Nox.
I cannot speak their language, but I can understand.
You can
And so he can translate.
Okay.
So now are you letting them know? Oh wait, hold on, Matt. Are you letting them know that all these words are coming out of different mouths, like they're completing each other's sentences? Or are you just relaying what they're saying?
Trying to in between. Like, obviously, I think that them, like
you're
getting
relaying what they're saying, but with commentary. You're commenting on what they're saying.
In between when they're like not talking, I'll be like, oh, and by the way, I understand them. Also, by the way, they're like finishing each other's sentences, and it's kind of weird. And,
okay, so I just want to point out, guys. So now you have Sigfroy saying to you, oh, by the way, I understand them, and this is what they're saying.
How did you come to this ability?
How the hell can you understand
Why
them?
weren't you doing this before, bro?
I couldn't do it before. I only was able to do it once I woke up. I don't know why.
Yeah, he doesn't know why.
And I'm like, well, clearly
it's not the evil spirit that lives in my head. It's not the evil spirit that lives in my head that gave me the ability to understand.
I'm like, clearly they cast a spell on you, and I pull out my sword and start attacking them.
Look at the little one. Look at his face. Doesn't it seem like he understands us? That's so strange.
I'm hoping, and my goal is that over the course of time, that they'll kind of realize that I'm telling them what, or like that if I'm talking when they're talking, that maybe they'll figure out that I'm translating.
Well, I was gonna say, like, once we get over the shock of him being able to understand them, and I guess we just say, okay, I guess he can understand them now. Like, we don't know why. This is kind of strange, but I'm going to, like, when you say, you repeat what they say, and they say, it looks like he can understand us. Like, you say that, Sigfroy, and I point to Sigfroy, and I point to them, and I'm like, yes. And I shake my head. Yes, he can understand you.
Oh, look, the big one's doing something. But they're such fascinating creatures, aren't they? Look, what's the big one? What's the big one trying to do? I think he's trying to take his finger and.
So wait, you said that I'm still understand. I I'm comprehending their language, but they're not speaking common.
Yeah, they're not speaking common. So you're translating because you're understanding what they're saying. You're hearing it in their language. It just makes sense to you.
Right.
So yeah.
So what I'm trying to do now is when they say simple words like yes or no, I'm going to try and remember what that is.
Well, all right. So
their language.
okay. So all right. So the thing is it like you're not even certain that you're well. All right. So hold on. You don't even think you can fully wrap your head around how to make the sounds that they're making. The thing is it like
yeah, but I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah, sure. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing is it's an exceptionally difficult language.
Yes,
you know. So I'm just letting you know. So yeah.
Really, yes. My goal isn't necessarily to understand their language. My goal is to make them understand that
Sure.
I understand them.
Sure. All I'm saying is that that's a little bit of a tough row to hoe, at least right now, because it's definitely sounds that your ears are not even normally used to processing. Because because this magic is working, you're hearing stuff on a spectrum and with a range of sounds that you never thought possible, you know, and you're like, fucking wow, you know.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's like a thing that will be easy.
No, yeah.
I'm
No,
just stating my goal.
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
the thing that would be easiest to show them that you understand is like if they, you know, if we're doing something and they say, "Man, I wish the big one would help out" or something like that, and then Erloser goes and helps.
Right,
Or,
but that,
You know,
that,
you
that
tell
needs
us.
to
You know what I
happen
mean?
first.
Yeah.
What?
Or if they mention an object, you go to that object and pick it up. Or
I
something.
mean, without being able to speak the language, that's how you would show somebody that you understand them without being able to speak to them
Right,
or know their writing.
right.
Tatonka.
Big Tatanka.
Tatonka. Big Tatonka. You all right, Mike?
Yeah.
Is that you?
So they see Airloser and they're like oh look, the big one's pointing at he's pointing at the little one. What is it? Is he trying to? Are they trying to use are they trying to use the energies again? Like, isn't that so strange that the one with the other animal, the furry animal, that one actually can use energy very similar to number one.
Number one.
I point when he says number one. I point to their magic user.
Did you see that? You just said number one. They just pointed at.
Number
That's incredible. That's so funny. Like that's so. What a random circumstance. Random circumstance.
Damn it!
Wait, do you think that he actually can understand? How could he understand us? He couldn't understand us yesterday. How could he understand us today?
Here's a question. So he doesn't. So he can understand what they're saying.
Okay, so
but he can't
here's what I try and do.
noises?
Here's what I am trying
No,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah, no.
When they say how can I try and understand it, I try to the best of my ability to replicate the sound of the energy.
Okay. Okay. Again, the thing is it's like speaking that African language that not, you know, like the thing is
Sure.
like is
No.
it
Crazy?
And I'm
yeah,
not saying, I'm not, I'm trying to get to some approximate-
there's sounds that your ears, that language or even Chinese or
Just never
something
even
like
heard
there's sounds that our ears, our Western ears, are not trained to even hear. So the thing is, so you try to do an approximation, and they're like, and they all stop and they're like, what was that? Is he okay? Is he okay? Oh yeah, that's Selena. That's very funny. And here, and Selena says, "Haha," and I'm here trying to understand what you're talking about because I don't speak English enough. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, so that really is so it is so there is a.
I think Siegfried, it's just going to take time before they realize.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, enough interactions, they'll figure it out.
And it's funny.
And as they mention things, you need to keep pointing things
Yeah.
out, or
No, and
Yeah.
that's the goal.
The one
is
thing you notice is that they don't seem to have like they seem young, like they seem like they're like they don't have fully formed adult intellects. You know, it's like that they kind of have this like kind of like naivete and this weird winsomeness to them. That's like they're like, oh, this is like it just it's the way
like a playfulness or a childish
like there's just
almost.
there's something a little childish about the way that they seem to be interpreting a lot of this stuff, and the way that like there's no
And
there's no cynicism at all. There's no
like if they've never been out in the world and exposed to a lot of stuff, then that seems highly plausible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we might be some of the first like outsiders that they've run across.
Oh, they stopped moving. Oh, what's
Oh
So-
no,
yeah.
I just
so so I'm figuring that you guys like kind of like freeze up for a second because that's what happened.
Yeah,
so,
we're all
so,
just kind of-
so they're like, oh, what happened? This is so weird. I wonder, do you think they're watching us the same way we're watching them? Do you think that that's probably happening? And how do they communicate? Like
Yes.
they're not talking to each other the way we do. Do you think they do it telepathically? Oh, that would be very strange.
So, I feel like with yes or no's, even if unless it is literally outside the range of the ability for my.
I mean, every word is right now. Every single word has little intonations and
Yeah, it could
weird
be multiple
and weird
meanings and stuff.
whistling
Yeah.
kind of stuff that's like right now it's just it's impossible. You're
Yeah, and
vocal-
it may very well be impossible for you to even vocalize them because they may be in frequencies that you can't even vocalize.
Right.
Or it
Also,
may be they may have multiple voice boxes. They may have like two voice boxes that create harmonies that have meanings or something.
yeah,
between them.
the hardest thing could be that maybe when you hear them say yes and no, it's different for you saying it because you're not them or something.
Yeah.
You know, these people, and I make the suggestion. It's like from what you've said, it sounds like these people are have an entirely different like
ooh, wait, hold on.
outlook,
Yeah,
and
the one with the furry creature speaking.
he
well,
What
then
is-
I okay. Then
so
I just
to
start
them, the very identity of I and we might be different.
right.
Especially
well,
if they're
I
hive
would-
mind.
Right. No, and I would definitely then how about this? Instead of trying to say yes or no in their language, I just start doing it in ours in an attempt to teach them ours and tell them that like in a way to say, look, I'm doing one specific thing when you do a thing to kind of answer your question.
The little one's trying to do something again. What is he doing? What is he trying to do? What do you think? I really wish we could understand them. That's so strange. I don't understand why they could. I don't understand why like it's so simple. Like you'd think that they would understand. Like our language is so much easier than theirs. Theirs seems so bizarre, and it uses such weird sounds.
Yeah, it does.
You say yes, it does.
I just
Yeah.
no, I just
Yes.
quietly I just nod my head and continue watching.
Oh, that's another. What is that? What do you think that means? What do you think? What do you think the with the head thing? What do you think that means? Oh, you're not pushing to the top.
Oh, I say when they ask, "What do you think that means?" I just simply answer yes.
Oh, what's that word mean? Is that even a word? Like that's the thing is I can't tell. Are these just interjections? Are they
Even
just
a
like? Are these just
word.
like? Or maybe it's gas escaping from their body. Like maybe these aren't even
No.
words at all. Maybe that's.
No.
Do you think that that's what this is just that like gas escaping? Maybe they don't even
No.
speak at all. Maybe they don't even need. Maybe they've
No.
got like maybe they work with telepathy. Oh, see,
No.
yeah, it's got to be gas. Because listen, he just keeps saying the same thing. It's just no. You know, or yeah, they don't say no. They try to approximate it with their and it's just very it's just like
So what you should do when they say gas is you should fart,
Yep.
and you should say gas.
I think we're on the right step. We just need to have some patience. Siegfried.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean,
We should sit here on the
With-
stairs and
with action, I think this will become.
So one of the things that I'm going to do is I can try and maybe simulate more of their like speech by trying different like whistles and whatnot, and then conferring with Siegfried to see if they seem to respond better to that.
Yeah. So you try just some random whistle kind of thing, and they're like, "Oh, it's. Do you think that one is trying to? Actually, he does kind of look like he look a little bit like us, doesn't? Don't you think? Like he doesn't his ears look a lot like ours do. That's so strange. I wonder if perhaps we might have had some common ancestry. But he's did you hear? I think is he trying to speak is he trying to speak with us? Hello.
I
Hello,
replied saying,
Mr. Person with the furry animal. What's the furry animal called? What's that furry animal called?
I would
What are we
I
gonna
would
call
just
this? I've never seen it.
Say that the thing that they repeated was hello, because I guess that's a good enough starting spot.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and say
well,
hello.
as soon as they say what the furry animal called, you Siegfried should walk over to the furry animal
Yep.
and say Bigby.
Yep. I do that as well.
Oh yeah, and they're like,
Okay, yeah.
they're like that's.
So I'm like, I whistle the word that I think is hello.
Okay.
And then I
think
have
he's-
Bigby.
I think he is trying to. I mean, it's like little baby talk, but I think maybe he is trying to speak. I think he's trying to say hello.
Hello.
And then you walk over to Bigby.
Yeah. Then I have Bigby. And
Number one.
Number one.
We point at number one.
Yeah. And he comes. He's like, what number 7? And number 7 is so the one he calls number 7. Number 1 calls number 7 is the one that you the one that was talking to you, William Cuddy. Now again, you guys do recognize that there's only 6 of them here, right?
Yeah.
So
One's missing from
goes,
somewhere.
so he
and
goes,
came in from
he goes,
somewhere else.
he goes, what was that? What's that number 7? And she goes, I think they might be able to understand us. What gives you that impression? Well, do I have to tell you? Can't you just look? And he goes, oh, you're right. Wow. Let's try it again. How would we do this? Okay. What is this one's name? And he points at Siegfried. What is this one's name?
And I say Siegfried.
And I say Siegfried.
Oh.
I say Siegfried.
And that's his name.
I say little one.
Oh, shut up! You don't know that that's what they've been calling me.
I say Siegfried.
Okay. All right. So you all say and so that's his name, Siegfried. They don't repeat. They don't get. They're like They're like. Can you understand that? No. But I think that sound is this one's name, or is this one's designation? Oh, maybe that's. So he's probably the smallest. Maybe he's number 7, or maybe I guess maybe he's. Well, there's only there's 8 there. So maybe he's number 8.
So Siegfried means 8.
So yeah. So maybe Siegfried is maybe that means 8, or whatever that sound means 8. So what's this one? And they point at Faye.
And we just say Faye.
Faye.
Yeah,
Faye.
Faye.
Well, which do you? Well, he's like you, number 1, so he's probably number 1. So that's Faye is probably their number 1. So we're getting this. This is great. So there's number 1, and we've got number 8. Okay. The other small one must be number 7. What's number 7's? What's this one? What's this one? Or wait.
Pindo.
According to Pindo.
Yeah,
Pindo.
Oh, but although he might be number 8 too. So okay, so we've identified that we've either got number 8 and we got number 7. Pindo. Yeah. They're like we'll never be able to pronounce these words, these sounds, but at least we can recognize them. Well,
And you're relaying this to us, aren't you, Siegfried?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to.
So we're apparently they have just to the rest of the party, like it's obvious, but I just say apparently they have numbered designations for names.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, again, it might go to the fact that they don't have any real self-identity if they're some kind of collective.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try imitating what number 7 was called. I think she was calling me yesterday, and see what they say.
Oh yeah.
How's that sound?
Oh yeah. So again, they're like, wait, I think this one's trying to speak to us too. Oh, the cute one. Like 7. Oh no. Yeah. So 4 goes to 7.
Why is he the cute one?
That's the cute one, you know. and
I guess one of us has to be Paul.
Yeah. So they don't really say anything.
Yeah. So
then?
that I think
They're just
I
like,
think
oh, he's trying to say.
I think he's trying to speak too. Oh, that's so cute. They're so cute.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
Yep.
Wow, that's so. How do they survive down here? How they went up against all of Nefrir's minions? That's so they're like such cute little babies almost. You know, don't you think? Don't you think? Number one, no, I don't think. I don't. I mean, I guess kind of, sort of. Yes, I mean, yes. It's obvious. It's obvious that their intellectual capacity is probably severely diminished. But they do have somebody that's able to use. They do actually have someone that's able to use the energy. So that's good. You know. Obviously, he must be the one that understands us. You know, and he's just relaying to them. I wonder if it's telepathic.
When he says use the energy, I just cast a cantrip. We'll just say create magic or create water and
Create
see
water?
what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
So where do you make the water appear?
Is there
on
any
the lava?
empty? Is
Yeah.
there
On
any?
top of the lava.
Is there any empty basin that water would obviously kind of look like it would go in?
Yeah. There are. I mean, they've got little decanters and stuff like that. Oh, I mean, and they definitely have like bowls.
So yeah, I just go and grab a bowl and cast create water in the bowl.
So you make a point of like walking up and like being like, look guys, here you go, sink and water.
Yeah.
So
He's
they're
like, I'm number one.
Yeah. They're like
one.
Another number one. Oh, maybe they're 2 clutches. Maybe that's why they're so. Maybe that's why they're so.
Two collections.
Two clutches. Maybe
Clutches.
maybe
Okay.
that's why they're not. Maybe that's why they don't seem to get along because they're two clutches. Oh, that's so sad. They've lost so many of their clutch. They're two clutches. Oh, maybe they've merged together because they've lost too many of their others. Oh, it's like number 5 all over again.
Like, well, that is true. We have lost a lot of people.
Yeah. So Mike, it's after 10.
Oh yeah,
so.
okay, all right, okay. So all right, so we'll pick. All right, so we'll leave it there. This will now allow us to get into the final, the final countdown, the final chapter that will lead to the big cliffhanger that will leave us. Good. All right, awesome. So for those of you watching at home, thank you guys so much for tuning in and digging the show. I hope you're digging it. So I'm going to be touring the United States and Europe for the next 3 months. So next week Wednesday is going to be the season 1 finale, and then I'm going to be gone for 3 months, and we won't be able to pick back up until I get back in October. But we'll have a big, we'll do a big announcement and let everybody know and get everything back up and running sometime in October. And so thank you for tuning in. And Vargon, if you're still watching, I'll definitely be checking out your stuff in just a bit. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you all. We'll see you all later on. This is wait, no, that's not happening in a few. I didn't come with a closing screen. I don't have a closing screen. But anyway, all right, Abiento, we're gonna sign off right now. I don't normally raid after these shows because this is my second stream. I've been streaming now for 7 hours today, in addition to a bunch of other stuff. So it's been a really, really long day for me. But hopefully, so I apologize, but hopefully we'll see everybody soon. So be well.
Bye.
Bye.